Epic, Isha.
More epic. I'm sorry. Sorry.
All I'm seeing on screen is a blur. Like this girl went speed force on us.
There we go.
So no, that was epic.
Hey, yes, this is the Source Wall. We're a podcast. We talk about comics, geek, and pop culture. I'm your host, Rich, or We Read Comics. We've got a Phantom specialist here, Red Hood, here as well. And we've got
special guest.
Yes.
And
who's our special guest today? Introduce yourself, man.
Hey, I can go with Shion.
Yeah, Sean.
Shion.
All right.
Yeah.
Of Sean.
Man like Sean. Yeah, we go live if you guys don't know, welcome. We go live every Wednesday about 7:30ish on YouTube. So, but if you miss us live on YouTube, you can always listen to us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and every other podcast listening software, including Spotify. And yeah, so if one special thing about going live with us is that we always have our chat open as well. So if you want to chat to us or give us your 10 cents on what you've been reading or what you think of the comics or TV shows or movies that we're reviewing, just jump in and, we holler back.
Yeah.
We do.
But as I say, normally we do talk about comics and pop culture, movies and TVs. But today we are talking about a specific movie that came out last week. This time last week. I mean, do I need to say anything else, really? I'm sure we all know what we're going to talk about today, right?
Yeah. Us.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yeah. Unfortunately, not today.
No. Keep your Game of Thrones. Before we start, Isha, Phantom Specialist, mad props to you for coming on the show today from those slave driving beasts that tried to keep you from us. I was so proud when you said that you were leaving. I was like, yeah, that's what's up. You leave.
Thank you. And the joke was just a little backstory. I know that we're going to talk about Avengers Endgame, but my workplace basically said that they were going to give everybody a bonus and then gave everybody a bonus, but put it in the paycheck so it gets taxed, so nobody got bonus. I was going to go ultimate Hulk smash on everybody today, but I said, you know what? Let me just save all this excitement and come on the podcast because this is where I need to be. I don't want to be cussing out my managers.
You went Professor Hulk instead.
Not good.
Yeah. Went Professor instead of Incredible.
There we go. So thinking smart here. But yes, let's get to it.
We in here.
Everybody saw Avengers Endgame.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Because I think we're going to have very interesting things to say.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's start off with a little bit of a non-spoilerish review. Just say what we liked, how we thought of the film, and kind of not give out what we specifically liked, but if you liked it, if you did, then say it, and if not, whatever, Okay. So, who wants to go first?
Yeah, Isha, ladies first.
Okay, I'm gonna say the film. After the 11 years we have been waiting for this film, it was a good film. It had moments I loved, but for me, I preferred Infinity War. And I only think it's because you need to watch this film straight after you watch Infinity War. The break for me was a bit too much because the pacing of the film just felt fast. And I was like, if I'd gone from watching Infinity War into this, it wouldn't have felt so you know what I mean? So, but yeah, for me, it was it was a good film. There were moments in it where I was like, lovely. Like, yeah. It could have been more serious, if I'm honest. Yeah, it could have been more serious. But yeah, it was a good film. It was a good film. Yeah, sorry, that was long. Sorry. Go ahead.
That wasn't long. Don't apologize. We're reviewing a movie here.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Who's next?
Go on.
I remember there was something that I didn't like about it. I was gonna write it down, but I didn't, so I don't remember. So fudge it. But I loved it. I thought so the thing is with me, when I watch any kind of movie where it's like a straight continuation from the previous one, I tend not to see it as the first and the second. Do you get what I mean? Like Kill Bill or John Wick 1 and 2. I can't think of another one, but I saw you roll your eyes there. I don't miss a thing, you know. Anyway, I was just using that as an example. I tend to just see it as one cohesive thing. I never really, so I can get why you or anyone else would be like, yeah, this one wasn't as good as Infinity War because of the reasons you just said. Yeah. But as one continuous, and I as soon as that comes out on Blu-ray, I will be purchasing that. Like, you know, but I really liked it. I can't remember what that one minuscule issue I had with it was, but it was obviously irrelevant to me. I really, really enjoyed the movie. In terms of one thing I actually thought was cool, because you said that you thought it could have been a bit more serious. I actually thought it was really good that they incorporated as many jokes in this movie as they did while still keeping the serious tone. I thought it was really well balanced in that sense. And like with Doctor Strange, when they threw serious
no spoilers, remember.
I'm talking about Doctor Strange the movie.
Oh, right, sorry.
I was like, let me land.
For real though.
Sorry, man. I tried to catch you. Sorry.
Doctor Strange in his movie, when some of his jokes I felt like were in the movie, I felt were a bit inappropriate. Like you should have just left that as the serious moment. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. Even though I do like that movie. But anyway, I liked Endgame. I liked Endgame. I have no beef with it. I liked the way each character was presented. I liked the use of the characters, and I'm going to let someone else speak because I like the sound of my own voice, and I can keep on going.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was a fantastic film. The first time I watched it, I was like, so many things going on in my head. I actually think I didn't really enjoy it that much. But then I thought to myself, let me watch Infinity War again. And then straight after I watch Infinity War, come back and watch it again. And for me, it is a film where you kind of have to watch it one after the other. But saying that, it's not a film you can kind of come in and judge just one film. It is a combination.
It's a cohesive story.
Yeah, it's a massive story that's been going on for 11 years, really. And I mean, the stuff that they put in this film and what you get out of it I think is pretty phenomenal. And I mean, it isn't Infinity War. It isn't the action-packed kind of movie that I mostly enjoy, but it does have it does fill you with just enjoyment throughout. Like you don't need to have the action to still be fulfilled or enjoy it. So yeah, like second watch was a lot better than the first watch, and even the third watch was even better than the second. And yeah, I had to, and yeah, it's just a dope film, man. It's so good, and yeah, there's so much to talk about today.
Thanos' arm fell out. Can anyone see that? Pissed.
Oh man.
I was so freaking out that it broke, but it's not broken. Luckily, some Marvel Legends, you take out the arm, that's it, it's broken. But luckily, this is one of those snapping ones. Oh man.
There were so many like Endgame jokes in that one segment that you just said about your like.
Were there? What did I say?
Your figurine. I was like, I can't even deal with all of these jokes right now. I can't even deal with
Who's joking? What joke?
So, Sean, what did you think?
Yeah, you know what, I liked it.
Yeah, you did.
No, you remember last week I was saying, I'm not really an Avengers fan, really. Not really. Yeah, still not. But really, this film was a nice wrap up to a good saga. It ended the whole thing off really nicely. I watched it twice too. Coming out first time, I was a little underwhelmed. I expected a little more from what I saw. Watched it again, went in, had a bit of sleep, went back in, and I appreciate it a whole lot more in the second viewing. I took in everything more the dialogue of what had been said, and it was enough. It was just wrapped up in the nice, neat little bow. Good film.
Nice.
Okay. Can we spoil it now?
Where did Kieran go? He's
here.
gone missing. Oh, right. Okay. Cool. I think. Well, what could we? I mean, if you haven't seen it yet,
let's score it. Yeah. If you ain't seen it, that's your business. What would you score it?
What would I score it?
Yeah.
Okay, I would score it. I would have to give it a 4.8. Oh, I don't know.
4.8. Man's like 4.8.
Well, I gave Infinity Wars 4.9 last week. I'd say 4.85.
Okay.
Yeah, but has 4.85. Has 2 movies. I'll give it a solid 5 out of 5, man. So I know I shouldn't do that. It's against the rules. Nothing is a perfect movie, but 4.999.
5.9. Kieran?
Oh, sorry. What did I give Infinity War? Can anyone remember?
4.9 as well.
Is it? I'll give it that then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it that. I'm gonna give Endgame a 4.9 because I enjoyed every minute of it. I wish I could remember what it was I didn't like about it. I just enjoyed the movie, man. I don't really have any complaints. I enjoyed everything. When we get to talking spoilers, I'll go into it. But I just really enjoyed the movie. I had no disappointments. Did I have any disappointments? No, I had no disappointments. And certain things that they did, I was like, I'm so glad you did that instead of that. So I'm all good with that movie, man. No complaints. The way
nice.
Sean, what would you?
Wait, can I ask a question? Sorry, real quick. Actually, I'll ask after Sean says. Go. Sorry.
What was my rating for Infinity War?
4.7.
4.7. All right. So I'll go 4.65 for Endgame.
Okay.
Yeah, just
me.
below.
I think I'll probably give just below.
Yeah, just below.
Damn.
I think I'm giving Endgame probably like 4.8. I say give a 4.8.
I think you don't need to see that movie again and let it marinate.
I think as well. Again, like I said, I think it's a film you need to see back to back. Like you don't need to see that film on its own. You know what I mean? You need to see it back to back. And there were a couple of things I was like, huh? Why did you do? Huh? Why? Huh? And then, so I think I need to see it again because I'm like, I know I enjoyed it, but I was just or maybe I was just rooting for the other team, and I was like, oh.
What? He's rooting for? Yeah. Okay.
I was rooting for the baddest of the baddest man. Yes, I was.
I suppose considering how the first film was his film, that was a Thanos movie, the first one, whereas I was just gonna say this one wasn't. It was like the remainder of the Avengers. Really, it was their movie.
Yeah, I feel like this was a Captain America film. To be fair, like in a sense, not like.
Yeah, no, I get. I feel it was both. Yeah.
I feel like it was like a Cap Iron Man movie. Sorry, we can go into all that once we start talking spoilers. May I ask, for those of you, which are probably all three of you and not me, who like watch the trailers and probably the TV spots and probably the breakdowns that other YouTubers and all this, that, and the third, all of that leading up to Endgame that you probably watched. I watched one trailer and I watched how it should have ended of Infinity War. That's it. That's how that trailer should have ended. By the way, it was so dope.
Do you know what? How do we feel about it, and do we feel spoiled? And
I was just going to ask, do you think that watching all that stuff and then going to see the movie could have impacted your decision on the movie? Like I saw one trailer, trailer. That's it. I didn't see anything else. I didn't see any TV spots, anything. So I don't know if you guys, if it affected your score for the movie at all.
No, I think it affected me the first time I watched it because, like even on the podcast last week, we had our theories about the link to the X-Men and okay, let's go straight into spoilers territory now because
we talk.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. It's basically because I thought stuff was gonna happen and it didn't happen. That's probably why when I came out, I felt a bit underwhelmed. But then watching it again and then realizing that obviously you can't get what you want all the time.
Yeah.
And actually, based on what they did, it opens up a bigger window to the Marvel universe in the movie side of things and TV side of things. It just made me realize that you got to be patient with it. You can't get everything.
I was a bit like.
No, go on. It's a bit like what?
No, go. Yeah, go. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. It's like you can't get everything at once. You can't have the Avengers and the X-Men introduced or Fantastic Four or Galactus and all that kind of thing. It's not that type of movie, and it's not that time to create that type of movie yet either.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I think my only quib with this movie was how they tackled the whole quantum realm thing firstly, and the time travel thing secondly, and then it looked like I'm just gonna jump from bit to bit. So it looked I didn't like the fact that Hulk wasn't fighting. I know he got injured, and I was like, I wish you had fought because like you got thrown on your ass the last time.
Yeah.
Just sitting there waiting for you, man. Like some any road man, and I was like, I love this guy. And then like you didn't fight, and I was like, I wish you kind of fight, but you couldn't. And then the whole going back to go forward. What it reminded me of? It reminded me of Star Trek. You watch Star Trek, right?
Yeah. Well, which one?
You watched the last one. The last episode.
Of the Next Generation.
No, Star Trek
Discovery.
Oh, Discovery. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it felt like when they were, when she had to go back to go forward, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of felt like. And I was like, okay, so this is a whole new concept on time travel, which is fine because obviously no one in real life has time traveled as far as we know. So we're just going by comic book. You know what I mean? So it just kind of threw that on its head. And I was like, okay, cool. But I kind of wished they had maybe introduced that a little bit earlier in terms of into another film, because then it would have kind of marinated a bit more.
Yeah. I think the thing I liked about the time travel thing actually and the rules of time travel is that it's the same as in the comics as well. It's not like, and that's another thing that I didn't like about the X-Men movies, because they don't kind of follow that situation. Like for instance, with Days of Future Past or the stories with Bishop and Cable, it's not that they're going into the past to try and change the future, but they can't actually change the future. So no matter what they do, it all stays the same.
Yeah.
You know, them coming back, it just creates another timeline in a sense, and that's exactly how it is in the comics as well. It's like you can't go back and change your future. You go back and you create a new timeline, so things happen differently.
Yeah,
you know, that's exactly what happened with when Legion went back. Was it Legion who went back to kill Magneto, but he accidentally killed Xavier?
He killed Xavier, yeah.
And it created the age of Apocalypse, you know. So, you know, so I do like that, and it kind of does. I mean, we'll get to it at the end, but there's only one thing that kind of ruins the whole thing. But I think we're gonna get an explanation to that in another movie, definitely.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we still got a whole Phase 4 to go through, so we're all right.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Phase 4, let's go to Act 1 and what the film was actually about. Like, so yeah, Act 1. It starts off with Hawkeye. Practicing with his daughter.
Oh man, yeah.
Jeez.
That was sad.
I mean, we knew that was gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? We knew it was gonna happen, but still,
we didn't know who she was though.
Who was?
The little girl. Well, God, no, because you didn't see the trailer, did you?
No, I'm pretty sure I knew that.
You know who it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, but I didn't see the trailer, so.
Wait, that eluded me. Was that little girl not his daughter?
No, yeah, it was his daughter. But I think when I was watching the, because I don't actually remember her. In the
trailer. In the trailer, did you think it was Kate Bishop?
Yeah, because she looks older, and you saw the two other kids in the background, and she just looks a lot older than she was in Age of Ultron.
Dude, Age of Ultron was a while ago, man. When you think about it, it was a while ago.
Sure.
Like, even when they showed, who did they show? Because I was like, who's that third kid? I was like, oh yeah, she was pregnant. I was thinking, why is he so big? But Age of Ultron was a while ago, man.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. So
yeah, it's 2015. It's like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's enough for a baby to turn into a 4-year-old, and then for a girl or whatever do you know what I mean? That's enough.
Yeah,
it's enough.
Yeah, but it was that first thing was
way.
really sad. Like, it was just like, I was like, you know what was gonna happen, and you know, like, can he at least see it? So he, like, there's man turned back, and it was just dust, and I was like, that's hard.
It's when and you could see like the dust coming out of the barn as well.
Yeah.
As he went in after, I was like, oof, he doesn't know what that is. Like, we know what that is.
Yeah.
But,
that was grim.
And the creepy part about it is that, so she had gone into the barn, and then it's like she had disappeared. But he was facing.
She was just getting the arrows.
Yeah. Did she go inside something? I swear she went in the barn.
I don't think so.
Well, either way.
No, they were outside.
Oh, okay, wherever. She turned to dust. But I was gonna say, he was facing the rest of his family, turned his back to see the daughter. She was gone. Then when he turned around, looking over at the picnic table, family they were gone.
Yeah.
I just thought that was harsh, man. Like,
very.
What do? Do you know what I mean?
Turn into Ronin.
Yeah, I guess you do turn into Ronin.
Start killing Yakuza.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd imagine that Natasha would have had.
To be fair.
What's that?
I was just gonna say I would have.
Oh no! I was just saying he was justified in his actions, because I feel like if my family turned just ghost protocol on me, I'm like, nope, I'm murdering everybody, cat, dog, mouse, everybody. Sorry, Kieran, you were saying.
I was just gonna say I'd imagine that Natasha would have told him what happened, and then he would have thought, all right, then why do these guys get to live? And then just thought, all right, I'm gonna start murking folk with Ronin style. But that was a nice introduction to the movie. I liked it, and then having Nebula and Tony on the ship.
Yeah,
that was nice.
Yeah,
I liked that.
That was a nice little touch there with them. getting together and
just playing,
even her, you can just there's just playing like American.
We used to play it in school. I forgot.
Yeah.
You flick it and it goes on the other side.
When she was like, I like this game.
Yeah.
She's like, they're serious.
It was fun.
Yeah.
That's what's it's serious, so cute. She goes, oh, you won. She goes,
yeah.
Just like, no, it was nice. It was nice to see like Nebula's obviously tender side, like, and obviously she's grown. Doesn't really like everybody, but she's just like grown to like kind of respect people and be like.
But you can tell. Give it a few movies, she'll loosen up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at. I mean, Drax was only one movie, but you have to count in the years he's been with them. Drax was proper like, I want to kill Thanos. I don't have a sense of humor. Do you know what I mean? And he hangs out with Peter Quill for 2 years, and he's a clown. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just give her time to loosen up, I think. But that scene with him. Go on. I was gonna say with Tony in space, delivering those messages to Pepper and not knowing if she was ever gonna get them or. And then just him. Oh man, just him thinking that he was gonna die, and then Nebula puts him in the front seat of the. But then who shows up though? Oh, because I wasn't. I didn't even. It didn't even occur to me. I thought what was gonna happen is that he would have like a Tony Stark eureka moment and be like, wait a minute, I'm such an idiot. Why didn't I take the reserve power and converge it over to the space power? And then we got all this power to send us light years back to, do you know what I mean? Just some comic book.
He already said that. He already said that they tried that and they've done power in that. But I like that. I like that she arrived.
Yeah, because obviously she must have looked at her 1990s pager. Yeah. I was like, oh damn. I better go to Earth. Heads all the way to Earth and just sees the ship sitting there. I was like, I better take this with me.
There was a part of me where when the light came, I was like, is that Silver Surfer? Like, there was a part of me.
Do you know? Do you know? Especially that early in the movie. I didn't expect to see anybody outside of these 20-odd movies. I honestly didn't. Maybe at the end credits I might have thought, is something going to happen? But during the length of the movie, I didn't expect to see anybody who wasn't advertised to be there, promoted to be there, because I just thought it just wouldn't make any sense. Throwing out all those kind of comic book hopes in this kind of movie just seems a bit.
That's what I mean about watching it the second time and not being like watching it the first time and coming out of saves. Like that I was expecting even a little bit, like just a little mention of someone else, but no. But that was good seeing Carol Danvers coming in and rescuing him.
I like her how they used her because the way they said to her, explain her is that she's going to be the most powerful Avenger and blah blah blah. And I thought, how are they going to do this movie if she's the most powerful one? Because I just thought she was going to come and murk Thanos, and that like for 2 hours. Do you know what I mean? The Avengers is going to be sitting there watching popcorn eating popcorn with us, just watching it. And but no, the way they used her, obviously to, she met the rest of the team. What was left of them, and then basically went after Thanos, and that was cool. By the way, I liked it when they went to his little planet. I really enjoyed that scene.
Can I just say,
No, go on.
No, I was gonna say that made me so happy. Like, man was just gardening with his little space pineapples, and it was just, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh, and then I saw his arm and I was like, oh no. But then he was just so content. I was like, yeah, babe, you did that. You sit down with your little space pineapple soup and you rest yourself. You did that click and make that sugar honey work. Like, I was so happy for him. He looked so zen and lease of life.
Did he
see what happened?
Man. What's that?
I was like, did Thanos have a little limp to him as he was walking into his little?
I think because it was not long after the battle, and plus he had used the Infinity Stones a second time. I think Thor really like bang him up as well. I think. So like before, like in Infinity War, I mean, I think Thor really got to him. Then after using the gauntlet the second time, I think that was it.
Yeah, that nearly killed him.
Yeah,
that was quite.
But I liked how he was smart. Like, sorry, go on.
No, go on.
No. I said I liked how he was smart in doing it in terms of like, obviously they came together and they were like, all right, we're gonna go sort him out, and they were like, where's the stones? And he was like, I used the stones to destroy the stones. And I was like, Batman. Like,
I thought that was dope. Even the way he delivered that line was sick.
That's what I mean. He delivers his line so sick, man. He's just so imposing and so like.
Yeah. I used the stones to destroy the stones. I can't wait for them to bring him back. He'll be back. He'll be back.
Yeah, he will probably. If Loki's back, then he's back. Anyway, but like, like no, but I did like when they came in, they chopped his arm off, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then like, Captain Marvel's all grappling him, and I was like, he hasn't finished his pineapple soup yet. But I was like, okay, cool. And then like, I had a feeling that it was either gonna be Captain Marvel or I almost thought it was gonna be Captain America that was gonna take off his head, because obviously everybody was there when he said it in it. So I was like, oh. Yeah. But when Thor did it half mid-sentence and he was like, I aimed for the head, and then man was just like aimed him up. I was like, oh, because when they took his head, I was like, oh.
Yeah, Rocket was like, what did you do?
Yeah.
And even that surprised me as well, man. I did not think he would.
I didn't expect it.
Died so soon as well, man.
But you know, that's one of the things I loved about the movie, because again, I didn't know, I didn't see any promotions, and I stayed away. I'm telling you, like I was blind to this. I was blind to this movie, and the fact that because I was really thinking, who's going to be the villain in this movie? And this is before I saw the movie. Then I saw that they cut man's head off, and I was like, seriously, who's the villain of this movie? Do you know what I mean? And the way they brought Thanos back, oh man, I thought that was sick. I thought that was so sick. Like, I really, what they did was genius, man.
Yeah, he's been like the best villain, like from start to end. Like he's been consistent villaination. Like it's been so good, and I'm like, I eat my words. Josh Brolin, you did that. You weren't good in Old Boy. It's okay. Don't worry about that. You were great at this. That's what you have to worry about. You are Thanos. That's it.
So yeah, after he gets his head lopped off, we close to 5 minutes later, and
5 years.
5 minutes later.
I was like, 5 minutes.
5 years later.
5 years later,
5
bro.
minutes. 5 minutes later, they're cleaning up the blood.
So it's technically 5 years,
yeah. So 5 years later, we just have the Avengers disassembled in a way. You got Carol Danvers out in space, Rocket out as well.
I love Rocket.
Okoye.
Oh my days.
Yeah, Rocket's sick. So you just got a depressed Avengers roster.
They were all depressed, man.
All depressed.
I wanted to.
Black Widow's trying to like form, like she's trying to like be like
keep the team
HR
together.
For, like,
yeah.
And I like, obviously she's doing like that obviously like that Skype call with everybody in the thing, and like Rocket's like Captain Marvel's like, what are you gonna do? Go get another haircut? He's so rude.
Yeah, that was unnecessary, but that was so unnecessary. It's funny, but unnecessary. But I love that even during all of this, they stayed their characters. Like Rocket was still Rocket. You know what I mean? During, like Bruce Banner. I was bending up at Bruce Banner. He was so funny. Every movie. You like him?
No, well,
Nah,
no,
not me.
he was talking about it.
Oh, I liked it, man. I thought it was funny.
Last week when we was on the way to the cinema, we was actually talking about what's his name? Mark Ruffalo playing as the Hulk and Bruce Banner, and he just doesn't have that kind of that. It just doesn't have that Bruce Banner from the comics or even from the or from the TV series. He just doesn't seep out Bruce Banner. He's too jokey and blasé, and he doesn't really. It just doesn't fit for me. And then seeing him as Professor Hulk, it was. I wouldn't have minded to see the explanation or see how he became the Hulk. You know, just that development of him becoming.
You need to talk to Universal about that, man.
Wow, I mean, yeah, that's probably the reason why. But
that's the thing. I can't. I take him. For me personally, I like Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner. He was better than David Banner. David Banner, whoever his name was. That's the rapper. Whatever the other guy's name was.
Eric Banner.
Eric Banner, yeah. And Edward Norton was okay. I didn't mind him, but out of Edward Norton and Mark Ruffalo, I prefer Mark Ruffalo. But considering,
I still prefer Edward, actually.
Fair enough. But I was just gonna say, considering everything that goes on with Universal, and this is just me. I kind of just like to take things for what they are. So, and if I like it, I like it. I don't. Universal are just being dicks regarding a Hulk movie. So we can't get every explanation. Like there's story of him, like, from Age of Ultron all the way to Thor Ragnarok that wasn't explained, but you know, he was there, he was talking.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I just take it as it is. Every time we see him, it's like he's developed some, and we're missing that because we don't get a Hulk movie.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing as well. Like they said that throughout Thor Ragnarok up until this Endgame, there's going to be a free movie mini arc for the Hulk. And it's like, well, we didn't actually see that. We saw the Hulk just being a Hulk, which was enjoyable for me in Ragnarok. Yeah. But then Infinity War, we didn't see him at all. You see him got bust up, and then that's it. We didn't see him up after that. And then this one, we kind of just see him and Bruce be Professor Hulk, and it's like, well, we get an explanation through dialogue, but we don't actually see anything. And
I mean, it's not an anime. We're not going to get a flashback.
Well, no, but I wouldn't mind like just seeing. Yeah, I don't know, just something more. I just wanted a bit more, and the Hulk didn't seem like the Hulk to me in a sense as well. Like,
because he wasn't. He was like Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner. Like,
yeah, but he like even later on in the film, I'll talk about it when we get to it. But even that kind of messed me up about it as well. It's like, yeah, I just wanted more from the Hulk. Definitely more from Bruce and the Hulk.
That's what I'm saying about these fans, man. There's no pleasing them. There's no pleasing these fans.
No, everything else is fine, but if you're gonna tell me that this is a free Hulk story out, then let it be.
Oh no, the thing is, even things like that, I don't even pay attention to it. Like I remember them saying that, but I forgot that they said that until you said it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not getting a Hulk movie. So I'm like, he's in Avengers. He's gonna cameo in one of the MCU movies. I'm cool with it. I can't be bothered to be honest. It's not your fault. They shouldn't say things.
No, it's not even just the fact that they said it. It's just that the way that they've done it is like.
But
it just doesn't.
Things needed an explanation with the Hulk, but if they didn't say, it's dark in it. If they didn't say that it was going to be an arc, you wouldn't be saying.
No, that's what I mean. No, I would still be saying that.
Yeah, no, I was going to say you would still be saying it, but you'd be cutting out the arc bit, and I feel like that's part of your bias. But, yeah.
No, it's not, because like I said, we was actually talking about it before we went to see it, and I just felt that was on my mind as well. Just him not being the Bruce Banner that I'm familiar with in the comics or in other media. It just, for me, he doesn't seem like it just doesn't fit. And him being together with the Hulk in this, it makes it not fit even more because it's not just Professor Hulk or the Hulk, because the Hulk is fine on his own. The Hulk was fine, but when he's the Hulk, he's the Hulk. Yeah, but when he's Bruce Banner, is like this ain't Bruce Banner. But when he's Professor Hulk now, it's like, damn, he's not even Professor Hulk anymore either. He's not the Hulk anymore. He's not Bruce Banner. What have we got here? Kind of. That's how I feel.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Well, where are we anyway?
Yeah, sorry for that rant.
No. That was a two-way thing. I was on it as well. I'm just like, all right, cool, I get it. Let's move on. Let's agree to disagree.
Yes. There we go.
Okay.
All right.
So I mean, we got to the Hulk. Actually, so basically, why am I forgetting his name? Scott Lang.
Yeah.
The most important thing, actually, the hero of this movie
is Doctor Strange, but we'll go to that later.
No, it was the rat.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're not saying the rat. Okay,
the hero of the story.
Go on. I'm going to let you explain this, and then I'm going to explain why you're wrong.
Right. Was it a rat or was it the mouse? Was it the
It was a rat.
Mouse. The Disney mouse.
It was Ratatouille. That's who it was.
So the rat, after 5 years of the van being in lockup, the rat goes across the panel and brings Lan out of the quantum realm. So he comes out, he sees that the world is effed up, and he's baffled. So he goes to the Avengers and tells them all about what's happened. To him, to everyone else, it's been 5 years, but to him, it's been 5 hours. So he's saying that he's basically got a time machine, so they need someone to make it more accurate and give them direction of where to go. So they go to Tony Stark, and he's got a little kid, 5-year-old little girl.
Yeah.
Morgan.
All
right, I just want to go back a bit, and we'll just put a pin in this. Yeah. Now, the reason that Doctor Strange, I can't see myself. The reason why Doctor Strange is the true hero and not the rat is because he sat there in the midst of battle, doing all of this. Yeah, looking into X amount of millions or billions, I forgot which one, possibilities and outcomes of this whole Thanos thing. He's seen it. He saw the rat, and he could have been like, you know what? I've lived a good life. I could die now and not say anything. Yeah, he could have not said anything, but he chose to speak. No, he didn't speak. He didn't. He handed Thanos the time stone and was like, "Yo, we in the Endgame now, cuz." And because of Doctor Strange, the possibility with the rat hitting the button that got Scott Lang to the Avengers, the rat is secondary. The rat is the second most important.
The real OG. The rat.
There would be no rat. How is people this blind? There would be no rat if it weren't for Doctor Strange. It just wouldn't happen.
Because if
Doctor Strange saw the outcomes. Come on.
No, but if Doctor Strange didn't see an outcome where the rat released Lang, then he would have been like, "We're dead. I'll see you in the Soulverse." You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But he saw the rat, and the rat was like, "I'm minding my own business. I'm just gonna walk over this panel and go to see if there's any food, because in 5 years."
Do you know?
That's right.
How many? Do you remember? Do you also bear this in mind? Do you? And you have to think multiverse. Yeah. How many rats must have hit that button that Doctor Strange saw?
Much.
No, there would have been more than one rat. Do you know what I mean? There was one outcome out of all these. Do you know what I mean?
It took the rat 5 years to do that. Like,
you're missing the point. Do you know? Anyway, so Scott Lang is at the Avengers Tower. Is at Avengers headquarters. I can't deal with these people. I just want to hang up. I'm just done.
No, because
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. You know, I can see it. I can't be bothered.
Wait.
You're morons. You're all morons.
No. Wait, because in 5 years the truck has been moved. It has been relocated. It has been dumped.
Yes, you're talking 5 years. You're talking time. And who had the time stone and saw that happen? Doctor Strange. In fact,
have probably tried to touch it and not worked it, but it was the right kind of rat. It was the right kind of ratatouille rat.
Doctor Strange saw the rat
straight from Disneyland sewage.
There we go. If Doctor Strange had said the rat, that would have been different. But he didn't. He just saw the rat do what he needed to do on that 5-year mark, and that is why the rat, needs to be commended. And
a member of the Avengers, the new Avengers.
And then there we go.
So
hook up with Squirrel Girl.
Oh yeah. I'm sure it was a rat, not a squirrel. All right, so rat saves the day.
Can I just say one thing? Since we're here, definitely being a man of action and who loves these action films, like. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is when Scott was reunited with his daughter. When he met her at the door. Like, you've grown. Lovely. I was like, oh dear.
Yeah. I actually like the whole part where Scott, he's like, for him it's been 5 minutes, he said. So 5 hours, sorry. So he's coming into this world that's not his own anymore. He's like Captain America coming in, running out Shield and seeing New York. Do you know what I mean? Scott is used to New York being lively and busy, and he's just seeing garbage everywhere. There's no car, or there's cars, but there's nobody in it, and just people were just like shells. And like he sees people, and they're just not themselves. And he sees that little kid. Little kid's like, like, kid, what happened? And the kid just looks at him like, it was 5 years ago. I was probably 2 back then. But you get what I mean? It was just like, but then to see his daughter, I really enjoyed that.
That was a good scene.
She'll probably be Wasp in the next movie. But no, it was cool. Man, imagine just.
No, she's Stature. She'll be Stature.
Either or, whichever one she was. Is she Young Avengers, right?
Yeah, Young Avengers.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, they go to see Stark, and Stark's got his daughter, and he doesn't want any part of actually going back in time and risking losing his daughter.
Losing his daughter. Even I was worried about that for him. I was like, nah, that's your kid. Like, they're gone. Do you know what I mean? I was like, they're gone, yo.
That's the thing. But then, I mean, later on, you find out that's not even how time works anyway. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, so he couldn't help them. I like the way actually on that. I like how she comes out and she's like, "Oh, Mom sent me out here to save you," like, just at the right time. And it's like, "Yeah, I'm saved. I'm saved." It was cute. It was really cute.
Yeah, his relationship with her was really nice, actually.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Considering what we know this version of Tony Stark to be like, he's not the most like kids. Do you know what I mean? So that was pretty cool. That he's from Iron Man, from that first movie. His character has grown a lot. He's had a lot of character development.
Yeah, definitely.
He's grown a lot. He just didn't care much about people. And then even when he started to care to do the hero thing, it was still quite selfish. Do you know what I mean? He's grown a lot. He's done well.
Yeah.
Good for you, Tony. You deserve a happy ending. Well, so. Enjoy those 5 years.
Yes, enjoy them. I did love the part with him and Pepper when she was like, you're not gonna rest. Ooh, you know what I mean? Like he's deliberating. Should I do this? And she was like, look, you can not do this and be calm, but I know you. Like she was almost saying that I give you permission in it because I know that you work. You're not even going to be able to be, you know what I mean, able to sit down and just chill because you're going to be thinking about it. So
even when he was talking to her, like when he came up and she was reading her book, he's like, "So what are you reading?" He's like, "Oh, it's a book about compost." So what's new in the world of compost? And she goes, "Well," and he goes, "I figured it out." He just
that's it.
Yeah, I love that. That was so funny.
So we're doing the same conversation. It's like, figured out time travel. I thought that bit was good. And even when he's talking to his AI, and he finally does figure it out, and he says shit.
Yeah.
And then his daughter's there repeating what he's saying as well.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Had to bribe her.
Yeah. And that I love you 3000.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony and Morgan forever.
Oh.
So cute.
Can I go back a bit? Just before Scott Lang came out of the van because of Doctor Strange.
The rat saying, yeah, go
on. When Carol Danvers brought him down from space and he saw Cap, I love that he wasn't great, like happy to see him. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad the animosity.
Yeah.
I love that it was after all that's happened. The animosity from years ago was still there. I really enjoyed the realism of it. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas even Cap is thinking, as far as Cap's a soldier, so as far as he's concerned, we have a mission to do. And Tony's not a soldier. Tony's not a soldier. So he's like, look, I've got nothing for you. You're a. Do you know what I mean? I really like that. But then obviously he went. And then fast forwarding back to where we were, they've come to see him, ask him about time travel. He's like, no, I got a daughter. You know what bounce. Then Tony Stark being. Do you know what it reminded me of, Rich? In Age of Ultron, the comic book, where Age of Ultron, it's the Age of Ultron, and then they have the idea to go back in time to kill Hank Pym.
Hank Pym, yeah.
Hank Pym, and I think it was Sue who's like, we can't do that. We can't persecute him for something he hasn't done. Maybe we could just tell him not to do it. And Wolverine is like, no. The thing is with these brainy types is when you tell them that they shouldn't or can't do it, that's when they're going to try even harder.
Exactly.
To fix it. And that was exactly what Tony Stark did. He was like, they presented him with the idea.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't rest. He had to do it. He had to do it.
Yeah.
And I love that. That was very true to the comic books. Do you know what I mean? Because
exactly.
We've seen it with Tony Stark. We've seen it with Hank Pym. We've seen it with who else is scientists in comic books? We've just seen it. Reed Richards. Reed Richards, boy.
Reed Richards is the worst one.
Reed Richards, even with his kids, will be like, yeah, I'm trying this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do this twice.
What I really like as well is that when they're actually building the panel, and we'll talk about Thor in a sec, but just when he's coming back with Thor, and he says something to Rocket, and Rocket's like, "Look, you're only the smartest one on Earth." You know?
Yeah.
Like, giving him a warning,
like he's a genius everywhere else. I like that.
You're only genius on Earth.
I like that. Because I never really thought about that regarding Rocket. I was like, yeah, he could be a genius. Why not?
Yeah, he is a genius, of course.
But speaking of stuff he's stolen and got away with.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
he's a mastermind. He's a mastermind with Rocket.
So, speaking of that scene and Rocket, after everyone's met up, they actually Rocket and Banner go off to see the Hulk. Rocket and Banner, they go off to New Asgard to see Thor.
That's very true to the comics as well. I like that.
This scene was hilarious and sad at the same time. Like it was done so brilliant. Like that's what I'm saying. Like there were moments in this where I was like, yeah, like them going there. I was like, all right, Hulk, Professor Hulk, stop talking. Like, and then they got there and they were like, oh yeah, he hasn't come out. You know, Valkyrie was there. I was happy to see Valkyrie. Hi, girl. And then he goes, he hasn't come out for months and whatever. And they go in there and Ricker's like, something smells like it died. And then you see Thor and you're like,
yeah. He's been drinking a lot. He's been drinking a lot of mead.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What did Rocket said? Like you look like
a melted ice cream.
But I was like, and then like when it was like when Professor Hulk was trying to have that kind of that emotional, intimate moment kind of thing where he was like, "You're upset because obviously you took off Thanos' head and it didn't change anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you tried to rectify something that you couldn't do before the snap. You just, you know what I mean? You couldn't do it. You know what I mean? You aim for the chest. It's fine. No one knows. You ain't gone up against Thanos before. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I kind of liked how Thor had that emotional moment. Like, but I would have preferred if Rocket spoke to him about. I don't know why. Like, I would have preferred if Rocket was speaking to him, and then he had that like, oh, you know, sugar honey, I see I messed up. And I'm upset because I messed up, and I know I've messed up, and I can't do anything about it because I'm supposed to be a hero. I'm supposed to be a god. Not even a hero. I'm supposed to be a god. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I do like it because the reason why I like it is because they have that history. From Thor Ragnarok. You know, like he was saying, it's like he helped him out when things were going a bit crazy. So I do like that they kind of kept that. And the one thing as well that I did actually like about Thor being fat, it kind of reminded me of because I'm reading Guardians of the Galaxy now, and what's his name is in it? Oh geez, why am I forgetting his name? Beta Ray Bill is in it. Yeah, and when they first meet up with him, he's pretty much like Thor at that point. He's like fat, overweight, and he's drinking. Yeah, he's just like it's basically a fat horse in it. So that kind of for me, that kind of felt like they've put something from the comics in, even though it's not Beta Ray Bill, but to me it kind of felt like they were thinking of Beta Ray Bill at that time doing it. So I like that.
That's cool. I like that.
But,
I also didn't mind that as well because of the history of Thor Ragnarok, but also you have to remember Hulk and or Bruce Banner, whatever, and Thor have more history in general, regardless of Thor Ragnarok, than Rocket and the Hulk. So I think it made perfect sense. I think it made perfect sense. You fans, man, there's no pleasing you people.
I know, but I did like how Thor was just really emotionally unstable. But like, there was some serious moments that he was having, and sometimes like obviously there was jokes going on around it, and you could tell like in his character he was just like, "Nah, you don't need to mind him, you know, because he's about to fall off the edge." Like you know what I mean. So it was nice that he had those like serious moments, which I loved because I was like, I like that this film, like, if you're gonna do that, do it properly. So I was appreciative of that. So I like that. So yeah, that was good.
What do you guys think about
thing though? That was fun. Right, what's next?
What did you guys think about when they were trying to put Scott Lang through the time travel thing by themselves without Tony? That was really
funny. That was really funny.
That was funny, man.
Yeah.
He didn't know
I think I peed myself.
Yeah. I like the way the Hulk's like the Black Widow's like, you are joking, right? And he's like, well, it's either something that works or something that doesn't work, and he's like, I don't know. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was funny. Oh man.
And then when what you call it? What's it? Iron Man rolls up. He turned into a baby, didn't he? And he was like, like,
amongst other things.
You've got the juice. But yeah, that was hilarious. He turned into a baby, he turned into an old man. Man was like, I think I peed myself.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know if it was older me or baby me or just me.
Just me. That was a really funny scene. God, I really enjoyed this movie. I can't wait to see it on Saturday.
Oh man, yeah. There's so many good bits. So yeah, after they've recruited the Hulk and Thor, they recruit Ronin as well, Hawkeye, and the scene was pretty dope, man. I really liked this scene.
When he was just cutting up those Yakuza.
Yeah, every time I see that scene, it's just like, this is, and it felt like one of those cutaways from the comic, like you're reading the main story, and it just cuts away to like a different part of the world, and mad stuff is going on this side of the comic, and it's just like, what the hell? That's what it felt like. So I really like that scene.
I like just that whole thing with Hawkeye, Clint being just real broken, and because he's like, you know, what he's like, why do you get to live when, you know, my family's dead? You guys kill. I like to he's like, you kill people, or you won't kill it, or something like that. And then the guy like looks around like, what you want about? Like, look at this man. I kill people. You kill people.
That's what he was like. Thanos killed half the world, and you get me.
Yeah, it's true. I like that. That was a really cool line, actually. And then it didn't take much. I actually expected more convincing from him.
Do you know what? I kind of liked it because when they showed Black Widow, you can see that she was broken in that meeting. And even when Rhodey was saying that they found him, it was like she knows. For me, this is how I saw it. He's broken because his family's gone. She knows that he's broken, and she doesn't want to confront him about it because she's kind of allowing him to fulfill his grief in a sense. But because he's fulfilling his grief, it's making her upset, and she's upset with herself because she doesn't go and talk to him. But what confirmed it for me was when they actually met up, and he said, "I don't want to give you hope. You know, don't give me hope."
Yeah.
And she said, we didn't have hope before. Now we've got a chance. And to me, that's their relationship. It was like she knows him so well. She can't talk to him about anything because all he wants is his family back, no matter what she says. And now that she's here, finally speaking to him, she's given him a reason to come out, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought
if it wasn't serious, you know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah. So I thought that scene was very important. Those two, even her sitting down eating a peanut butter sandwich and talking to just that little bit there, and this scene here, those two scenes connect perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But they get Clint back.
Tony shows up.
Tony shows up.
And rekindles his relationship
with him and Cap.
Yeah, I was gonna say rekindles his relationship with Captain America. Which was nice actually, because he said it. He just how did he put it? I just don't want any more animosity, or something like that. He had a way of putting it where he's just like, you know what, I'm done with this. Let's just be friends again and work to bringing everybody back as long as this timeline stays. And then they go from there. Oh God, it's a movie.
Yeah, I like the way that they're explaining the time travel as well. And he's like, why don't we just kill baby Thanos, you know?
Do you know what? So when they said that, my mind instinctively went to Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, yeah.
And no matter what you do, because also in the movie where Thanos says, "I'm inevitable," do you know what I mean? Like, no matter what you do with Thanos, he is gonna be Thanos. Thanos is Thanos. And I thought it was
exactly
in the comics. For those of you that didn't read Cosmic Ghost Rider, he didn't kill him. He didn't kill baby Thanos. But what they did is that Ghost Rider Frank Castle tried to raise him to be good and not to kill. That baby still grew up and dominated Earth.
Yep.
Killed a bunch of people.
Yep.
Ended up killing that Earth's version of Frank Castle. And then his dad, Frank Castle Ghost Rider, shows up and is like, "This is my paradise. Look what I've done." Thanos is Thanos. There's no changing it.
You just spoiled that for me. I wanted to read that book as well.
I thought you read it. I thought you read it.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry.
We were just we were on the same page.
I know that he's glad to kill baby Thanos.
Oh, come on, man. I thought you read it. I'm so sorry. You could have stopped me ages ago. You thought I was gonna spoil the movie, and
I was doing.
Oh my days! You could have stopped me.
You put my white word on, but that gives me even more reason to go and read it now, man. Definitely. I'll probably forget.
Trust me, you'll enjoy it. Trust me. Like,
it sounds dope.
His arm keep falling off. What's going on?
Yeah, it's because his arm got chopped. Oh, that scene at the beginning as well, man.
I know. I was like,
I know we talked about it already, but yeah, the way that they just hook him up, Thanos at the beginning, and then just chop off his arm first, and then that was just like a militant mission, boy. That was crazy.
Well, that was, wasn't it? Though.
I was just gonna say, like, that scene. You see what preparation can do in a fight. Like, he came before; they had no idea on how to handle this guy. They handled him, get their asses kicked, and then they go back. They basically Batmaned him. Went back prepared, and he died. Like,
that's it.
Enough said.
But going back to that scene with Hawkeye, with them talking about doing the whole time travel test, and Scott Lang saying that he's got 2 tests and everyone can go back once, and then
that was just. And then
he messes up, and then
we
got 1 left.
We got 1 left. That was very Scott Lang. Like, that was so him.
Yeah.
That was such a him thing to do as well. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It didn't even occur to me that they would go back to get more from Scott,
no, exactly. Yeah.
I thought that was it. I thought they were screwed. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we'll get to that, but it's staying on that point where Rhodey and who was it? Rhodey and Scott Lang actually saying about how time travel works. It's like, that's how they do it in a hot tub time machine. Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. And they listed every time travel movie. Time Cop.
Pretty much. Time Cop,
what was the other one? Every time travel. Terminator 2 got mentioned, or Terminator got mentioned. What I love is where Bruce Banner explains time travel, because when you go back to the past, that becomes your present, and your future is now your past. And I posted it, by the way, for those of you that follow me on the Outlaw Red Hood, I'm back. I posted this today, and I said, I can't believe Back to the Future is bullshit. And the thing is, my people kind of looked at me when we were in the cinema. It's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, yeah, that's my favorite movie. It's my favorite trilogy. That's my favorite. Back to the Future is my favorite trilogy. Whenever it's on, no matter where it is, at what point in the movie, I watch it. I don't care where it is. It could be the last 5 minutes. I'll watch that movie.
For real.
And then to find out that Back to the Future is nothing but bullshit. Oh well.
That's what I'm saying. When they did the whole time travel thing, I was like, okay, you've now introduced this new thing, like you're saying. Not only the quantum verse holds time at a slower rate, because obviously in Ant-Man, you all seen Ant-Man and the Wasp? You're pretty cool.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So that.
No, not everyone's seen it, have they?
Okay. So.
Who's that? Who hasn't seen it?
They do stuff like that in
Ant-Man. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Of course, I've seen it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm just double checking. Okay, yeah. So Ant-Man and the Wasp, obviously, when the mum gets trapped in the quantum realm. She gets trapped in the realm, and then she obviously gets powers, blah, 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 blah. But then it's just like time's held there. But then now they're moving through the quantum realm to different spots in time. And that kind of, because it was a new concept, it kind of confused me a bit, because I was like, does that mean you're going to a multiverse within the quantum realm? Or you actually, that's what it felt like to me. I felt like you were
so from what I gather, what they were saying, what Hulk was saying, and what the ancient one was saying was, you do go back in time, but you can't actually change your time. If you do change anything, you just creates a new timeline. So
that's where the multiverse is coming.
Kind of.
It's not this. Yes and no, not really. It's not the butterfly effects where it affects you at the end.
Yeah, because the butterfly effect will affect your timeline when you go back.
Yeah.
So if there was only one,
will be the same when you go back. It's just when you go back to your normal time. But when you go back in the past, you create a new timeline. So you're not actually changing anything. You're just changing that point, and you're creating a new you've created a new timeline.
But that's what it's like. The new timeline then feels like a different like it looks like
it would be. It would be, yeah, but that's if they create the new timeline. They didn't. Well, assuming Captain America.
No, well, they've created many. They've created many. Like going back, they did. So that's what I mean. That's what I was saying about it not actually fulfilling my wish of having Galactus or Fantastic Four or anything like that. But what they did do is create multiverse around there. So like now, like we're going on to like pretty much Act 3 now.
No, let's just go back to Act. We'll get to this later. Yeah, let's just keep this linear.
But I mean, literally, the next thing that happened is that they talk about where the stones are and how they're going to get them. They talk about their mission and what the mission is. So basically they're brainstorming and going about. So they figured out they're going to get the ether from when Jane had it. They're going to get the Soul Stone, which no one actually knew about. And it did actually slip my mind. Sorry? What did you say? Sorry?
Until Nebula did something, and then... But I thought they were going to be like, we can get it from Vision. But then I was like...
No, that's not the Soul Stone. Yeah, that's not the Soul Stone.
Yeah, he's got the Mind Stone.
No, what did he have again?
The Mind Stone.
Yeah, sorry, I get confused because... Yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry.
But no one there actually knew what had to be done to get the Soul Stone, and even that.
But yeah, so they. Sorry, I was split into groups.
So and even that, it was like I thought in the Infinity War, he was like, you've got to sacrifice something that you love, but I thought it didn't necessarily have to mean someone dying. It's like maybe you've got a nice watch that you really love, and that's the most fantastic thing or ever in your life, and you got to sacrifice that. That's what I thought. That's what he meant by that. So,
but he did say a soul for a soul.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my sock over the edge. Yeah.
True. Yeah, he did say that. So yeah, I was wrong. I should have thought about it more.
Did he say that in Infinity War as well, though?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he did.
I thought they would have figured that out because they were like, well, Gamora went.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he
did.
sacrificed her.
Yeah, he did. But I thought they would have
we know, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he sacrificed her for that reason. Because all she said when they were fighting on Titan was that they went to Vilma together and they came back and she didn't. That's all. There was no explanation as to what happens at Vilma or how you get the stone there. So that's why I thought that there's no way of them knowing what's going to happen. She did mention it, but she didn't mention the specifics about it. And then I remember even us like talking about because I remember when in phase 1, and you look back and you think actually there were so many stones in New York City. I like that they brought that back because you got the time stone, you got Loki's scepter, and you got the
Tesseract
as well.
Yeah.
So
and then they made a new timeline because Loki is. So Loki is alive in a different.
That was so funny.
That's how I was. Yeah, that was actually a joke.
Sneaky guy.
Like, I was like, I was like, really? The man's alive, you bastards. Like,
oh, okay, yeah.
But he's alive in a different universe.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. They didn't. Okay, yeah. Okay, that explains that because we're going way into the future, but you know how they brought Gamora back.
Yeah.
I thought that was really clever as well because they did. Gamora is dead. Do you know what I mean? She's dead. She's not coming back. She's dead. She ain't coming back. But the way, because I was thinking, how are they going to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Surely they're bringing Gamora back. But what they've done, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
That they've kind of just got past Gamora. She's just going to roll with Do you know what I mean? I thought that was really, really cleverly done. And now you've just reminded me of how they're bringing Loki back as well. Just take them from the past and put them in the future.
You could. I mean, Loki's got a new timeline, so that could actually be taking place in that specific timeline.
Yeah, there's that
and
as
that's
well.
probably how they can do that series, and they can really pretty much do anything they want without affecting
the main continuity.
Yeah.
He could even still talk to Thanos, because remember at that time, even though he lost the war, the fight, Thanos is still very much alive in that timeline. So
and I mean, he's got the Space Stone as well. So I mean, the Space Stone, you are traveling through space. I don't know if you can travel through different space in different dimensions as well, maybe. So that could be like an Easter egg there.
Yeah, I think you need a time stone for
that. Maybe going to different times, but different space. So you can go to different realities at the same time. That could be something different.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
So, yeah, you've got Stark, Bruce Banner, Steve Rogers, and Scott Lang going to New York City.
I loved it when they went back to New York.
Oh, that was so sick. I
got so excited at that scene.
Yeah.
Oh.
That introduction with them doing the spin with all of them in a circle.
And they're just there watching themselves in the alley. I just felt it was so good. And that bit where Hulk was like, so they're in the alley and then the Hulk comes down and just smashes things unnecessarily. He's just there smashing, like he broke up the aliens, the Chitauri, and he's just there smashing. Like he got the tire, and I'm like, dude, move on. Do you know what I mean? This movie is so good.
Yeah.
No, I like the bit where. Go on, sorry, go.
No, go ahead.
No, I did like the bit where, obviously, they see each other, and then Captain America's like, it's the younger me, and then like he gets to fight himself, and he's just like,
I've got Loki.
Man's like, I can do this all day, and he's like, I know.
That was sick. That was really sick.
Do you know what I liked is when the Hulk went to see the Ancient One, and I got really excited this bit because it was during the Battle of New York, and she was fighting, but we had no. Yes. This is one of the things I actually like about comic books, because like I'll use Justice League, the Justice League cartoon as an example. Do you remember? You guys will watch that, right?
Yeah.
You remember when the Hawk people invaded Earth in like season 1 or 2, but then later on in like season 4 or 5. When new heroes were introduced, they mentioned that, I was fighting in that war. I fought the Hawkmen. And I'm like, do you know what I mean? When things are happening in New York, everybody's involved. Just because like you see a core group, that doesn't mean others aren't fighting off these aliens as well. I like stuff like that.
That's what I mean. That's why I think that it wouldn't be a bad thing for them to bring in the mutants, because even watching, like, there's only certain things in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that happens, and it's like, well, why would the Avengers know about it? Why would it be in the film? The films are always talking about one specific thing that's going on in that area or at that time. If there's a big thing going on, there's a war that's going on, it might take a day or two to sort it out, but they're all hooked up on that particular thing. You got Age of Ultron, the thing over there, they moved on to Africa and things like that, or Cape Town. You've got the first Avengers, that's all going on in New York, and even with that, you see the Ancient One doing her thing. You know? Because I remember when Doctor Strange came out, it was like, so where were they when the aliens were mashing up in New York? Yeah, that's what they were doing. And even in Spider-Man as well, you see what happens after the alien invasion. You've got these guys going in. So, I mean, they can most definitely bring in X-Men and mutants in without even batting an eyelid.
They could easily. The thing is, I think people were coming up with all these things where it's like, it has to be a thing due to the like one of the Infinity Stones that makes it happen. And I'm like, why? Why can't they just have been there, but they've been hiding? Do you get what I mean? And then something happens to expose them. My thing is, they could have easily been in that battle. We just don't know it. Same way as the Ancient One was. Even I mean, I would say this if the show wasn't on Netflix, but that Luke Cage and them could have easily. Let's say that those shows didn't exist, but all the smaller street heroes could have easily been fighting in New York at
in
this
their
time.
particular areas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like Shang-Chi.
It was a
we'll
big
probably
fight,
see the Shang-Chi movie, and he'd be like, "Oh damn, what's going on here?"
Yeah,
You know what I
of
mean?
course. Yeah.
So
I
just like
another
that
good
little
thing.
Easter egg.
Another good thing as well. It was Steve Rogers going in the lift. Actually,
I
let's
love
start
that
with
scene.
the whole when they're in the building first and they've got Loki tied up and he goes, actually, I could use that drink. And then Tony Stark's there, is just standing there. He's like, yeah, we can do this pose a bit later. Let's move on. And
I like that they continued that. Like we got to see what happened afterwards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really like that.
Romlo and those guys coming in, and Scott Lang's like, these guys look like bad guys.
They look like bad guys. They're so obviously bad guys. Oh man.
The fact that they did that lift scene was beautiful. Like, and it was to a T because you were like, oh, are they actually gonna switch now?
And even the camera angle. The camera angle where it just focuses on when Steve's behind the guy, you can just see the guy's shoulder and you see the other guy behind him and Steve, and he just focuses on Steve and you see him like, and he's like, and the other guy puts his hand on the
reaches for his gun,
and
I so thought
goes over and he's like,
I so thought that they were gonna do it. I so thought that they were going to recreate that scene. I mean, they didn't recreate the scene, but they took us in a different direction. But could you imagine if they fought in that lift? But
we're in the same result.
No. I think I would have loved it. Loved it if that happened. But I'm happy that they kind of
gave us that.
They changed it up and they gave us the little Easter egg from the comics of Captain America saying "Hail Hydra." When they did that, like for the casual viewer, they don't know what that meant. Do you know what I mean? But for us fans who saw that, that was like a oh my days moment.
Yeah,
him saying "Hail Hydra."
Because one, they gave us that "Hail Hydra" moment, and two, they gave us the moment of them fighting. But I must say, and my friend actually. He spotted this. I didn't spot this, and I'll say this now. And whenever you watch that scene now, you're gonna always see it, and you're not gonna unsee it.
Right.
But when they were fighting, and Cap got Cap in a headlock after they fall down. Once he grabs him on the headlock, the Cap behind with the helmet, there's a bad tracking on there, and you see his head just shaking. Like it's a very bad comp on that man. And
wait, what? I don't understand. Whose head shaking?
So Captain America. So you see them both together.
Yeah.
Like one's got the other one in a headlock.
Yeah.
You see his head there, and the Cap with the mask. His head's behind.
Yeah.
And it's after they fall over and they're rolling, and once they roll, you see his head just like shake. And it's just it looks really, really bad. But in terms of special effects, that was really bad. Considering what this film is. Oh yeah, definitely. But once you see that, you're gonna always see it. You're not gonna see it.
I'm probably gonna forget, to be honest.
I'll watch for that next time.
Yeah, you'll spot it. You'll spot it. But yeah, just. Hail Hydra and Cap versus Cap as well. That was sick. That was sick. And the that is America's ass.
Yeah. Oh, just when Scott Lang said it, it's like, don't listen to him, Cap. As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass. That was so funny. Oh, he fits right in with those guys, man. He really does.
Definitely.
It's a shame we're not going to see Scott Lang with the group as they were. You know what I mean?
We did. This is it. This
I know, but I suppose that was it. Yeah. I suppose that was it.
We'll get back to the full fact, or the full facts, where that we see some sick stuff going on there. But going back to Act 3 with so he's got the Mind Stone now. Stark and Lang tried to get the Tesseract, and those two are just bumbling idiots, man.
Yeah.
Create a whole new timeline.
Yeah.
I can't believe Tony Stark messed that up.
I
But
know,
it was funny though, because like the Hulk was like, because we only heard him say puny God. So we assume that do you know what I mean?
That's what we
but
could
then
say at the time.
he's running around like too many stairs. He was, and I'm like, bro,
take the stairs.
I know you jumped up to get to there. Why didn't you jump back down?
Yeah,
when you taking the stairs? He's pissed, like proper taking this. Like you can see, he's like, he's a proper child. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he's about to get the left, and they're like, "Whoa, no!"
The way he looks down that staircase as well, I'm like, just jump. I'm just like, nah.
I mean, he would have caused major seismic activity if he jumped down the stairs. But I just mean, he could have building to building, just get down. Just get down. Don't take the stairs.
That was sick.
That was too fun. Then when where Tony messed up is he got the Tesseract and he basically gets headbutt by the Hulk coming through the door.
Yeah.
My man is rampaging in the hallway. Too many stairs. Oh, it's too funny.
So yeah, after that we see the Hulk, our timeline Hulk, go to the Sanctum Sanctorum, and this is where we see the Ancient One describing to Hulk what that he can't. That whole scene actually with him going in, she's like, I wouldn't go in there if I was you. We just got the Marvel floors in, and he's he tries to come up to her and be like, yeah, I'm gonna take that, and she just and just throws him out of the body. Yeah.
She goes, let's start this again.
Yeah. That was dope. That was something.
That was cool. We had to see some astral projection in that movie. If you know what I mean, like it just had to happen.
Definitely.
Had to happen.
Yeah.
So
but
yeah, she's
like moment where. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I did like the moment where obviously they're talking and he's like, look, when she goes, something about Doctor Strange. She goes, you're 3 or 30 years too, something like that.
5 years too.
5 years
He's
too.
performing surgery like down the road, kind of thing. And then they're talking, and he's trying to explain to her, look, I kind of need that stone that you got floating around on your chest there. And she was like, no. This is the timeline. They're talking about the timeline. They split the timeline. She's talking about how don't be splitting no timeline because I got to make sure that I'm the key person of the timeline because I'm in charge of all the timelines, basically. And then when she drops the thing of when he drops the thing of Strange gave Thanos the stone, and she's like,
willingly.
Okay.
Yeah. And just her expression as well.
Take this.
Yeah. Her expression. You could just see her thinking about it as well. She's like, wow. You can see that she's thinking, why would he give it to her?
Yeah.
It's
like if he gave Thanos the time stone, he must have had a damn good reason to do it. So you know what? Take it.
Take it, no man.
I really liked that scene because he's there. Oh, come on, we need a time stone. She's like, no, please, no, pretty please, no. Oh, I'll be a friend. No. Oh, Doctor Strange gave Thanos his time stone. She's like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, I made a mistake. Okay. But
he was. And then, Doctor Strange is supposed to be the best of us. No, it's just where she's like, Doctor Strange is supposed to be the best of us. And then she's like, okay, take the time stone, but you have to bring it back because we don't want none of this. Right now we're here. We don't want no forks in the road of time.
Yeah.
Should write that down. Forks in the road of time.
Forks in the road. So and then there is go on. So after that.
So during that time as well, obviously Stark and Lang mess things up. So this bit kind of confused me when I first watched it as well. It's like when they meet up with Cap again. and Rogers, Steve Rogers and Stark is talking to each other, and Scott Lang just standing there. He's like, "Yo, hello, can you guys hear me? Hey," because they're saying, "Yeah, there was one time when they were together." He's like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm very sure." "Well, I'm not that sure." He's like, "Do you trust me?" I was like, "What the hell are they actually talking about?" I was baffled until you see what was going on. It's like, Scott, the Tesseract was there, and Hank Pym was there, so they can get some more Pym particles. So I like the way they managed to do that and stick that in. Even the whole scene with go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say big up to the Stan Lee cameo. He's like, "Make love, not
yeah.
I was like, "Oh, baby, yeah."
Yeah, that was a nice scene.
Yeah, Stan the man.
Yeah.
Stan the man. We miss you, Stan.
So they go back to Shield They go back to Shield headquarters in 1970s. To take the space stone and some Pym particles for their journeys back. But in the meantime, we've got Rocket and Thor going to Asgard to steal the reality stone from Jane Foster. And we've got Morag, we've got Nebula and Rhodey trying to steal the Power Stone before knocking.
Do you know what's funny with that bit with Peter Quill? Because in the movie, he's like, he's dancing to the music, and it looks like it's a cool movie intro to Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie.
He does his skid as well. And that's where the title comes up.
Yeah, but when you're just seeing this guy with this guy on with his headphones, you're like, what's this dickhead? Because you would be like that in real life. Like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember one time in primary school. Because in my head, I'm in my own little world. Do you know what I mean? I think I had some song in my head. I think it was it was that song, "You're All Shook Up." Because I basically remember in Look Who's Talking, where John Travolta did the dance in the nursery. So I was in my head, I'm there. Do you know what I mean? In my head, I'm there, and then I remember my teacher calling out, like, "Oh, look, Kieran's performing a dance." I was like, "What?" And it knocks me right out of it. But in my head.
You was doing
I was there.
Concert.
Yeah, but it would have been like Peter Quill. As far as he's concerned, he's having this epic dance moment. Which, when you're watching Guardians of the Galaxy the first time for the intro, it was epic. But then when you see it from like Nebula and Rhodey's perspective, you're like, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah,
that was so well done. That was so well done. That was brilliant.
Can I just on the Rocket and Thor thing? Oh my god, it's so funny when Thor's having a mini breakdown and Rocket's like, "Come here."
Oh yeah.
He slaps him.
Oh my god, I laughed out loud like any black you know, one scary movie, one of my girls like, "Oh, that scared me," heard with the chicken. I was all of that. I was laughing my head off. I was like, "No, Rocky, you're like the best thing ever in life." But yes, Pym particles, they go back to 1970. Go ahead.
Where were we?
I like that one. Stark meets dad.
Yeah, Stark meets his dad. That was
nice.
That was a nice scene.
There were a lot of nice kind of loose endy type scenes in this movie, and that was a really nice one because he didn't get on with his dad, as we all know. But the fact that he heard his dad say, "I would do it. This kid's not even here yet, and I would do anything for him." That that says all regarding of what their relationship is like. That says it all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Regarding how his dad felt about it. So that was real. I liked when he hugged him and said, "Thank you for everything you do for Shield."
Yeah. What did you say, Isha?
Yeah. We got to meet. I said Jeeves. I didn't mean to. We got to meet Jarvis.
Oh yeah. from Agent Carter TV show.
Yeah, that was good that they actually. That's the first time they've linked. I haven't watched Agent Carter properly yet, but it's cool that they finally linked one of these so-called tie-in shows to the MCU movies.
Well, yeah, that was a proper tie-in show as well. Yeah.
Sorry?
That was a proper tie-in show, that one.
I know, but it was just nice to kind of get it from the movies, from the movie side.
Apparently, I heard that the voice, it wasn't actually his voice, it was Vision's voice over. What's his name?
Vision's voice, yeah. It is, yeah.
Was it Vision's voiceover?
Huh?
It was just what?
Sorry, no, I was just gonna say they probably just used his name, but then obviously they had the Vision voice, the guy.
Yeah.
Let's work it, yeah. No, it was good, that whole scene. And then with Captain America, it's like it was funny because everybody else more or less interacted with certain people, apart from Cap, like fighting Cap. Like everybody kind of interacted with everybody else's like people. Like Tony spoke to his dad, and Thor spoke to his mom. You know what I mean? Like people interacted, whereas Cap purposefully, I feel like in his head, when he saw what's her name?
Peggy.
What's her name?
Oh, Peggy.
Peggy. Sorry.
Margaret.
When he said, I know, my head gone. When he saw Peggy, it was like he's like in his head, he's like, I want to wait until it's perfect. You know what I mean? Like he almost like, I don't want to ruin it. Like he had every opportunity to like knock on the window. He had every opportunity.
It would have been too much though. Could you imagine? He would have so much to explain as well.
Yeah.
Like, I actually come back 20, 30 years from now, but you'll be old. You'll be old. And right now, you're not even here because you've died, and everyone else has died. So I've come back here. I've come back here to save everyone else who, like, it would be too much. So, it's good. It's good that he didn't talk to her at all. I think it was great that he even just got to see her in her prime. Do you know what I mean? Such a good movie. And going back to Morag, was it Morag where Nebula and Rhodey are?
Yeah.
When they finally knock Peter out, Peter. His name is Peter.
Peter Quill.
Knock out Quill, and they get the purple stone. I forget which one it's called. And
Power Stone.
I feel like that was a nod to
the Power Stone.
Yeah.
To iRobot.
That was a nod to what?
You know iRobot, when the robot puts his hand in the nanites and he starts to burn, and then like she takes the thing off. It's like, oh, that's cool. That reminds me of iRobot. They're probably not doing that, but like, not obviously not a nod, but I was just like, that's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh, cool. That
didn't even occur to me.
They did that in iRobot, and I didn't like that. But, and then they burnt her hand. And I was like,
I was just gonna say that
I thought. So I thought her burning her hand would come back actually, because remember just after that as well, Thanos, her 2014 self, she was getting the same memories as well.
Yeah.
That's where I was going to. Just the fact that this is how they brought Thanos in as the villain of the movie, which I thought was brilliant. It's
that was good, man.
There's two Nebulas, because she's on a net, because she's like cyborg, part cyborg. Yeah. So she's on some sort of space internet network, some sort of space Wi-Fi. Yeah, Spy-Fi. She's on Spy-Fi, and obviously that she's projecting memories that she's had from the future. Thanos is like, we're gonna watch all of this, and then that's him. He's like, okay, so I get the stones. I do what I want. Then they kill me. Fair enough, but it works. And I'm like, cool. But then he's like,
and that's the first time he says, I am inevitable.
I'm inevitable, yeah.
Then when his head gets chopped off, he goes, and that is destiny.
Yeah. That's destiny, yeah. So he's like, these guys are gathering the stones. I'm just gonna get them early.
Yeah.
And then from then I was like, oh, you're the villain. Okay. That was creative, but it was really creative the way they did it as well. And and I just thought from then, oh, you guys are, because I'm thinking Tony and Scott have already messed up getting one stone, and now Nebula's basically accidentally snitched. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, you guys, you're just screwing this up. Do you know what I mean? And and then can we now just talk about Black Widow and Hawkeye?
Yeah,
that was sad for me. Like, it was
Go on.
No, I just thought like, they're friends and
Just got choked up, No, yeah, I completely agree.
No.
Everybody's talking about, obviously, everybody's talking about my man. Like, everybody knows, we'll say who later. But then nobody's talking about Black Widow. And I was like, she basically, if it wasn't for her or whoever else is jumping off of that mountain or getting dashed off the mountain, this plan would have worked.
Yeah,
in any
exactly.
way, shape, or form.
One of three. She's one of three of the true heroes in this movie.
Yes. The rat.
Yeah, the rat. I'm not saying it. I'm agreeing with you that the rat is crucial. The rat, Doctor Strange, and Black Widow. Those three. Those
the
three.
rat should be on the poster.
But like, the only other time they could have gone back to get the Soul Stone was to either, I don't know, they would have to either go back, like way back, and stop like Thanos from getting Gamora, or they'd have to go there when he is with Gamora and fight him. You know what I mean? And like to stop her from getting down off the mountain.
Because the only other time they probably could have got it, which the thing is, they went to times that they were all aware of, and Gamora found the stone. And I think she put it there, didn't she? So there was a time.
No, she didn't put it there. She knew it was there.
Oh, she just knew it was there. Okay, my bad. Shut my mouth then. Never mind. But yeah, there was no other way of them getting that stone. They were. I'm going to use a proper Englishy term. They were buggered.
They were buggered, babe. Yeah. I would have preferred, because you know, like how Hawkeye and Black Widow, they had that nice fight when Hawkeye was with Loki when he got like possessed or whatever. And they had that fight, like a lengthy fight. I would have liked for them to have a kind of lengthy fight, like, because it was already emotional. Because I was like, oh my god, is Hawkeye gonna jump? Is he gonna jump? And I was like, oh my god, I feel like. Gone.
No, I was gonna say the first time I saw it, it did seem like it was quite a long fight, but the second time it was pretty quick.
It was
trying to jump over. Yeah, it was pretty quick.
I feel like whenever you watch a movie a second time, because there's times where I've seen movies where you watch a scene and you really like that scene, and when you watch it the first time, it's like it's a long scene. Then you watch it the second time, you're like, that was short. You know what I mean? I've had that in a lot of movies. Even like, I love martial art movies. You see a sweet fight scene in a kung fu movie, and you're like, this movie at the time, this is like a 10-minute fight. You go back, it was like 60 seconds. I'm like, oh. So it must have been like that.
I would have preferred for it to be a little bit longer, because they were doing like bare slow-mo bits, like she'd hit him and then she'd slow-mo, and then he'd hit her and then he'd slow-mo, and I was like, all right, cool.
I enjoyed that though, just the whole, because it wasn't even, you can look at it as they're fighting to jump off, but it's like, no, they were saving each other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
They were proper saving each other. It's like, you're not doing this, I'm gonna do this. And and then when she jumps, he jumped, didn't he? He jumped, and then when he jumped, I thought that was it. I thought that was it when he jumped, and then she came, oh man,
grappled him to the wall when he was like, damn you, and then she was holding, she goes, let me go, and I was like, oh,
it's okay.
It's okay, let me go. Like, no. And then that was it. That was the end of Black Widow.
Like, she's an integral part of why, you know what I mean, it worked, kind of thing. Because if it wasn't for her, how are they getting that Soul Stone? How?
I felt that more. I felt that more than when Thanos dashed off Gamora, and even and that was a sad scene. Like, that was proper emotional. To me, that just looked like Dad dragging. Come here, just. You know what I mean? I told you about them boys. And little fast ass little girl. But no, I felt it more when it was Black Widow and Hawkeye, because we've had a longer relationship with Black Widow. Do you know?
Exactly.
We've watched her since like Iron Man 2. And for her,
there's more love for her.
Yeah. Like, Gamora's cool and anything, but I could take her or leave her.
Pretty much. And we left her at the bottom of the thing after she so
down left.
My dad was saying like, oh, Black Widow is like she's the glue that has held all like the Avengers together. Which
she is, you know, she is. She's the one that has. She's always been like the voice of reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When she's, yeah, I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
And now she's gone.
Actually, do you know what reminds me? When Hank Pym first comes and he's like, so does anyone know about quantum reality? And she's like, only when starting a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
So she's got that little humor there, but I don't know. There is rumors of there being a Black Widow film as well.
Well,
so
I thought that was official, and I was going to go into that. I'm pretty sure it's official, but I was just going to go into last week when you guys were going to see this movie. You hadn't gone yet. We brought it up, and you said, "Well, it could be a prequel," and I'm like starting to think it's going to be a prequel.
Yeah. Because
you know what I mean?
it's not actually. No one from Disney or Marvel has said that it exists anyway.
Oh, really?
It's all rumors and hearsay, and there's been word of people getting hired, like actors getting hired. So it will more than likely be happening. But and it could be a prequel, but then it could be like because she's not the only Black Widow. You know, there's other Black Widow characters about as well. So it could be another one. But I really doubt it would be because she deserves her own movie.
Yeah,
I feel like
she's been female for so long.
Yeah,
everybody else obviously got introduced, so she deserves her own movie.
I was gonna say if they do a Black movie. Sorry, if they do a Black Widow movie and it's not with Scarlett Johansson, I'm not watching it. As in, I'm not going to cinema. I'm not going to the cinema for it. I'll watch it when it's like on TV, but I'm not supporting it. No way. That should be her. That should be her movie.
Yeah.
Like, she deserves it. Like Isha just said, she deserves a movie. And like for Captain Marvel to come out and be the first woman out of the Avengers to get a movie, I actually think it's BS. It should have been Black Widow. But you know, that's a tangent and for a topic for another podcast.
Yeah. But actually saying that as well, there has been clones like in a recent Marvel comic. She did actually die in it. And the way that she came back is that the what are they called? The Black Room. They've been keeping clones of. Spoilers, by the way. They've been keeping clones of her, and they've remade her basically. So, I mean, it's comics, so anything can happen.
Yeah,
but I would love it if they brought her back that way. Like seriously, if they get proper comic book on us, like I'm actually waiting. I am waiting for us to just look at the MCU and be like, you know how we're just like comic books because comics. Like I'm waiting. Exactly. I'm waiting for that moment. Do you get what I mean? How Quicksilver's back, but did he die in Age of Ultron? Comics.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm waiting for it.
Even with Stark dying, it's like
Stark dying. He'll be back. He might be a different actor, but he'll be back.
No, they could just leave him in the like do voiceovers. And just have him as an AI, really.
Yeah, it's true. They could. They might have to pay him a fortune, though. That's the thing.
Oh, well, yeah, but not as much for him to act. To do a few days in audio. That would be a lot cheaper. But he could live on in a Iron Man suit. You know. Yeah,
that's true.
Scarlett Johansson could come back as a clone.
Yeah.
Captain America can come back from. I don't know, from the future or through the time travel that he done at the end. So there's loads of options. It's comics.
Comics, man.
Speaking of which, everybody's done their mission successfully. We'll say because and.
Can I just? Did everyone not feel that those white suits were pretty sick?
Yeah, they were.
They were.
Yes.
Seriously, like I might have to get one of those.
Yeah, they do sell the Marvel Legends.
Yeah, no, I've seen the cosplays, like they're available. So maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I might have to get me one of them.
Oh yeah. No, they were cool. They were really nice. Yeah.
So Nebula, the original Nebula, got kidnapped, and she's been swapped with the 2014 Nebula, who actually comes back with the Avengers now.
Fiend.
Yeah.
So hold on, wait.
Go on.
Wait. So, am I right in saying, or is this okay? So, past Nebula obviously came back, disguised as new Nebula, yeah, and then obviously terrorized the whole thing, so Daddy could come and F shit up, yeah. Is it me, or did past Nebula kill future Nebula?
No. What, you talking about later in the film or what?
You've seen it twice. You two both seen it twice.
Well, later in the film.
Yeah, later in the film.
No, it was the present Nebula killed the old Nebula. Yeah.
So past Nebula, the Nebula who's like, I'm not weak, I'm not a traitor.
No, the present, the one that we know. She
good
killed
Nebula.
Good Nebula,
the good Nebula killed the bad Nebula.
Old Nebula.
Yes, yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay, just double checking.
Because when Barton had the gauntlet, as soon as she picked it up, she called Thanos.
Yeah.
And that's when Gamora came, and the present Nebula came with the gun as well. And then they had a little standoff, and then she was going to shoot Nebula, but the present Nebula shot Gobula.
Past Nebula was about to kill Gamora, so good Nebula killed Nebula. Let's go back to what we were trying to say about. So bad Nebula infiltrated the Avengers. They all showed up. Mission accomplished. Then she calls Thanos, and that's when shit got real. Shit got real, yo.
But before that, during that time, the Hulk clicked everyone back.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I can't believe I forgot about that. I forgot about that completely.
I didn't mind that. Yes, and Natasha's didn't come back with them either.
No, he tried though.
Because
he tried to bring her back
off a mountain ski lift. Okay, you can't come back after the dash off a mountain. Just can't. Okay, but yeah, just letting you know.
So yeah, that was
when Gamora, you got flung off a mountain. You're not supposed to be here. But yes, and then Thanos came and rained down, oh holy horror, on everybody. And it was wonderful.
That was a sick scene. That was pretty sick.
And can I just say, I think my favorite scene, I think in this whole thing, everything was good, right? But my favorite scene was when he destroys like the Avengers like building and everything, and Rocket's like, I can't breathe, and then Rhodey's like, I got help us, and then like little Ant-Man's like, I'm coming, and he like jumps
in the water.
He's like in the water because they're all drowning him. That's not my favorite part. My favorite part, and obviously then Hawkeye's got the gauntlet and then getting traced by the Chitauri. That's not my favorite part. My favorite part in the whole thing is when Thanos is sitting. You see Thor outside, and Captain America and Tony Stark come outside, and he goes, "What's he doing?" And Thor looks terrified. I've never seen Thor look like this. He looks terrified. And he goes, "What's he doing?" He goes, "Nothing." And Thanos is just sitting there.
Yeah.
Chilling. And can we just give a moment to Thanos's wonderful blade? I forgot what the blade's called, so I'm tired. Like the blade of, I'm gonna call it the blade of wonderment. Yeah, because that's what it is. Yeah. And he's just sitting there, got helmet on blade. Man's just chilling, just waiting for people. And then they all come down, and Thor's like, okay, I need to kill this guy. I need to kill this guy. Captain America's like, okay, the last time I tried to do this man was toying with me. Because in Infinity War, he was toying with him, like, why are you still trying to fight me when I'm like gonna smash your face into the ground.
No,
Remember that
he's
part
like,
when he like
oh, that's when all three of them are standing up there watching him,
Yeah.
and they're talking to each
yeah.
other, and then
Yeah.
and then Thor's like, what's he doing? He's just standing there. He hasn't got the gauntlet, and he's like, he says, this is a trap, right? And he's like, everyone's like, yeah, this is a trap. And he's like, good, as long as we're all in agreement. And then you just hear that clap of thunder.
Oh man, going back real quick to when Thanos showed up, and what's his boy's name? That little snaky dude who fought Doctor Strange in Infinity War.
Ebony Moore.
Ebony Moore. When he's like, was it him?
Yeah.
He's like, go and retrieve the.
No, that was Nebula.
Was it Nebula? Sorry, it was like go and retrieve the stones. Nebula's like, what are you gonna do? He's like,
wait.
I'm gonna wait. I was like, oh, this guy, man. This guy. Like, I thought that was such a dope scene. Everything that he delivers, his body language, he's just so dope. And then going back to all that stuff where Tony, Cap and Thor were on that platform, like, this is a trap. And then when Thor summons Stormbreaker and Mjolnir at the same time in the same movie, at the same time, at the same, I was so sick. I was like, dual wielding. I'm like, okay, and his beard just braids itself. I'm like, this guy's ready for battle. Like, he's proper ready for battle.
More ancestors platted him up. I was like, you better work,
shed a few pounds. He's like, ugh.
And then they start fighting.
And then they start fighting. Then they start fighting. And then I'm skipping to it. I'm skipping to it.
No. Let's calm down.
Wait.
You know what I'm waiting for as well.
So yeah.
2 seconds.
Go on.
No, I was gonna quickly say, when Thor saw his mum, and his mum was like, "You're from the future," and he was like, "No, I'm not." And he's like, "Yeah, you are." He goes, "I'm totally from the future." and then obviously he summons like Mjolnir, and he's like, "I'm still worthy," and it's like,
I like that.
And
that
was
like, good.
Yeah, that was love. And then he was like, "I have to tell you something." He goes, "No, don't tell me. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be okay." Because again, he can't bring her back either. You know what I mean?
Mjolnir be missing from 4 too?
Well, yeah, it would be, but then when he goes back, when he goes back, he brings it back. So if he rescues,
Cap does.
Ant-Man saves Rhodey and Rocket. Present Gamora kills 2014 Gamora. Evil Gamora. Sorry, Nebula.
I mean Nebula.
Yeah. And then
I like that.
and then the fight ensues with the real Trinity and
the real Trinity. And that's where it needed to, the way it needed to be, because Tony fought him on Titan. Captain America fought him in Wakanda. Thor showed up in Wakanda, but the three of them weren't together. Do you know what I mean? Before, so it was nice. It was nice seeing those three take this guy on. It was really cool to see, and it was a sick fight as well. It was such a sick fight.
I like when sorry, I was gonna say I like when Thor summons a Stormbreaker, and then he actually catches it and starts pounding him with it. Well, Thanos catches it.
I was gonna say, because I said to people, I was like, look, this is how banging Thanos is. And he goes, it doesn't. I said to them before, I was like, it doesn't matter if he has the Infinity Stones or the Infinity Gauntlet. When he's ready to do shit, he's ready to do stuff. And then he managed with all of them to at least lick them at least once or twice. You know what I mean? I mean, he inflicted some. He was, when I say he was
damage.
In this one, he was more vicious in this one than he was in the other one. He was like, I'm going to win because I have what I have. But in this one, he was like,
more confident.
I'm gonna show you what a mad Titan looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick. It was sick. And even when even when Captain Marvel came in and she was like, "Yeah, come in to F shit up," he dashed her like she was a pebble, and I was like, "See."
Not really, actually. Not really. We'll get to that bit, but he didn't dash her. He didn't dash her. No, he didn't.
I think he punched her and she went flying, but she did slide across the floor.
I feel like that's a dash.
Yeah. She dashed across the floor. Definitely.
Yeah, she dashed.
No, he dashed his sword into the time machine, and that blew up, and that's where she flew into the distance. And I think she flew into him, and then he kind of caught her and used her momentum to throw her. He didn't literally throw her, like punch her and throw her.
I feel like he hit her and she just skipped like one of them pebbles. I swear he grabbed her and he threw her. That's what it looked like to me. Or maybe that's what I wanted to see. But
I think that's when he got the power stone. He took it out of the gauntlet.
Yeah,
he did do that. He took the power stone out and he punched her with it.
Punched her one.
Yeah.
He punched her with it.
Did.
She went skip. So yeah, that was good. That was good. But yes, can we get to the bit of the bit that
the main bit?
The main
bit.
So
Thanos is having up Thor, and he's actually stabbing him in the chest like Thor did to him in the previous film. And then we see just before that the hammer drop on the floor, and now suddenly the hammer's being picked up or floating.
Yep.
And then
it hit him in the face. It hit Thanos in the face first, and so it went one way, but then it came back another way, and I think, okay, Thor's gonna just grab it, and who grabbed it? But Captain America himself, America's ass. And boy, the cinema just went ape shit. We were like, oh. He's like, man, when and then Thor was just like, I knew it. I'm like, yeah, you knew it. Come on.
Yeah, they can't do this last film without that happening.
The thing is, I didn't expect it. It's like the most obvious thing to do, but it blew my mind. Do you understand what happened?
When you see the hammer lift up, but you see Thor didn't have his hands out as well.
The thing is, I thought for some reason Thor did. In my head, Thor reached out for this hammer, used its momentum to slap Thanos in the face, and then he was calling it back. But then you see it was Captain America who did it the whole time. And you're like, oh my god, it was Captain America doing it the whole time.
That was worth the wait, man.
That was my favorite. That was one of two of my favorite scenes. One of two.
Yeah.
That was just. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. How did you guys feel about that scene? That was amazing.
That whole scene was sick. Even when he flies up to him and gives him an uppercut with the hammer, and then he's got the shield. He's still got the shield, and he's frying the shield. The shield's hitting him, and it ricochets off, and he throws the hammer at the shield.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
That is hitting. And then he called lightning.
Exactly.
Yeah, Captain America called lightning. He brought it down.
That's it.
But then they start to get the upper hand. You know, Thanos is like, you know, they're winning. So he's like, cool down.
He takes off his helmet.
Yeah, he has to take it off. Yeah. But then he's like, cool, make it rain fire or whatever he says.
No. He's still banging up. It's still him and Captain America fighting.
Yeah.
And he's getting.
But then he switches on Captain America.
When he takes off his helmet, then he starts.
Then he starts going.
Getting serious on Captain America.
Then he grabs. Is that when he grabs Stormbreaker again, or was it just once?
No. It was just once. He's got his sword and he's breaking the shield.
He went mental. I was like,
mashing up the shield
right here. Yeah, man's just tearing up Cap's shields, mashing up Cap. I was like, wow. I go, if this is how Cap dies, I'm not mad at it because boy, man went out fighting. But I'm just like, I was like, okay. And then man, he's getting bullied. He's getting bullied. And then when obviously Thanos he's walking away, that was it. And then Cap gets up, and I'm like, this is why I love Cap. This is why I love him, because he's like, I don't care what it is. I have to fight with everything I have.
Yeah.
If I don't have a lot, I have to fight. And then he's like, he gets up, smash up, looks like someone's eating it. Yeah, arm ripped open.
Yeah,
face bloody.
The thing is,
pulls the story.
Sorry to interrupt, but the thing is, while he's getting up as well, and this is another reason why Thanos is sick, he is doing another one of his monologues as well.
Yeah.
Saying, it's never, throughout all the years I've done this, it's never been personal. But
oh yeah,
the thing I'm about to do to your planet, I'm gonna enjoy it.
That's gonna be personal.
Very much.
Very much.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
And then then Cap's like pulling at the thing. He's tightening up the shield, and man can hardly see out of one eye.
Yeah.
Mash up, the thing, ribs are gone, and then Tutu's. Yeah, you've got this light. Obviously, this is like the American way, but you've got this light coming towards him. He's like, he is the only person that is between.
Hey, that was a poster. That's a sick poster.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, that's a sick poster. And then like the beautiment of wonderment in life, all you hear is on your left.
I swear you just made out 2 words.
You know when you're like, sorry, he was like on your left, and I was like,
yeah.
Don't like, you know, when you're just looking, you lean forward in the cinema like.
I lean forward. I remember tapping feet. I was tapping feet like, that's Sam. That was Sam.
This is it. And I was like, man, not just say on your left, and then two, you just see portal after portal after portal after portal open up.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. This now it's getting.
Wait. There was a bit that I want to bring up, but I can't remember if it was when everyone showed what that bit you were about to say. Anyway, I'm gonna say it real quick. And man turns into giant man and punches a Leviathan in the face. That was sick. I can't remember when that was, but I need to bring that up before we get to where you are, because
that's when they started rushing each other.
That was brilliant. Okay. Right, yeah. So go and introduce what happened. What was about to happen.
Okay, so obviously Cap's there, and then all he has is on your left, and he's like, what? And then like Tutus, you see portals, you just see these yellow portals come out, and everybody starts to come out.
With the music,
come out.
Oh man, it was Wakanda. It was Wakanda forever. Like
indeed,
it was. I swear it was the entire nation, and then cousins and aunties.
It was Wakanda. It was Wakanda forever. It was for Asgard. It was Avengers Assemble. It was
Guardians.
It was Guardians.
The Ravagers.
It was just.
You know, Howard the Duck was in that as well. You know?
Yeah, I found out today. I found out today he was there. I didn't see him, but I found out today he was there. And
then
I saw him on the third viewing.
The one crucial person who came out web slinging.
Man.
Boom.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah,
like,
everything was right in the world when Spider-Man showed up. I'm telling you.
For real.
Yeah.
And then, so they're all there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and Cap is standing like a Donny, just a straight, like, look at, I'm squad, like, look at my crew. Like, come on now. And he just says it in the calmest, he's like, Avengers.
No. He says it, but then the hammer comes.
Yeah.
He calls the hammer
He calls the hammer first, and then but the point is that he said it. I've been waiting years for him to say that, and he said it. And I remember they teased us at the end of Age of Ultron. They teased us. He was like, I always remember. He's like, even then when he said it, then I got excited. He was like, Avengers, credits. But when he said it, oh, this movie. I'm too excited. Too excited, man.
The squad goals were unreal. In that.
And then Captain America was rolling crew.
It was nice. But it was nice because I feel like obviously they understood that not Infinite, was it Civil War? they couldn't give us.
Yeah, they couldn't give us the big
Civil War, the big fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and I mean in the airport, they were like, we understand we couldn't give that to you, but today, now,
this time,
we can give this to you.
Every superhero from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, except for the ones that had died, was there, and it was brilliant. It was beautiful. It was just the best thing.
Even when they're all coming together, and you see Ant-Man or Giant Man come out, and he's got the Hulk and Rocket in his hand.
Yeah.
He just lays them down, and then it zooms out of that scene, and you see the whole like the Wakanda, everyone there, and you just see Ant-Man, Giant Man in the distance is there. There's so many poster opportunities on
that, it's true. Yo. Then when they rush, he says Avengers Assemble, and they rush. And just Shuri coming out like, when Shuri was there, I got mad crazy. I was like, come on now. This guy's so dope. And do you know what? Fast forwarding it now. So I think they're playing keep away with the Infinity Iron Gauntlet, whatever.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point, who has it? I think Spidey has it. Is it Spider-Man who has it?
Yes.
And then it's like, we got to keep it away from Thanos. And then
kill mode.
Who showed up? It was one of the girls. I think it was because he was it was Captain Marvel. She shows because he's
Captain
like,
Marvel
hey, he's like, hey, I'm Peter Parker. He's like, hey, Peter, you want to give me that or something like that? Yeah. And he's like, we got to keep it away from Thanos. He's like, don't worry, he won't get it. All the women. Oh man, when the women came, and that was dope. That wasn't about women's rights, so that was just dope, just to see all of them.
Yeah.
It was good. I will say it was good. I preferred the Infinity one better, but I thought it was. It was good.
Why are you trying to kill my hype? What's with this negative energy?
I don't want to kill the hype, but it was just a bit
negative
weird
energy, man.
All of them came, and even like what's her name? The Wasp. The Janet Van Dyne, she was in the van helping him, and then she just suddenly appeared. That kind of threw me out when that happened.
I thought that was sick, man. I thought that was so sick. And I have to say, giving props to Pepper Potts, where she's with Tony, and the two of them are just back to back, just murking Thanos' shoulders. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, that was sick.
This movie just when that whole big battle happened, because I will be honest, when it was just. The thing is, I remember Tony had snapped and brought everybody back, and I'm like, okay, you can tell that it worked. Then Thanos shows up, but for some reason, I wasn't expecting everyone to show up. So when it was just still the core group that was there fighting off Thanos and his people, I was thinking, this is good. I'm enjoying this. This is great. I'm really enjoying this, but it's not as good as Infinity War until everyone showed up, and then it just got ripped. Oh, too excited.
Yeah. And Sean said when Spider-Man did, what did you say? He did battle mode and the
kill mode. Activate kill mode. Yeah.
I bet he thought he would never use that as well. When when you're watching Homecoming, he's like kill mode. He's like, why do I have that? You know what I mean? Yeah, that was necessary.
Yeah. No, that was sick. And then when Spider-Man actually, like, when he saw Stark and he was like, oh, Stark, oh my God, you're alive. I was like,
I woke up and you weren't there.
I was like, what?
I was there, and Doctor Strange was there, and he started doing his yellow round thing, and he was doing that with his wavy hands, and he's like, oh, just give me a hug.
When Spider-Man was describing what happened to him, it almost sounded like he was still somewhere. You know?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
He goes. He didn't say, "Oh, you know, I felt weird and then I woke up." He goes, "I felt weird and then I turned to dust." Like he said, he was like, "I turned to stuff." You know what I mean? So it's almost like, he knew that he went somewhere, or he was being kept somewhere, and then he goes, and then I woke up, and then and the man's like,
it did sound like that they were somewhere, that they were all somewhere. Maybe they were in the Soul Stone.
Maybe.
Maybe.
However, I don't think that's a question that needs answering, to be honest.
No,
it doesn't need
answering.
Yeah.
But Gamora turns up and she saves Peter Quill. And
yeah.
No, that was joke. And she was Nebula's like, this is the one. She was like, this one?
Yeah.
It's like,
I liked that because going back to something I said earlier, because I was wondering how they were going to do Guardians 3. Because remember, in Guardians 1 and 2, they're doing that. They even say it. Peter Quill even says it. They're doing the will they won't they dance. And then by the end of it, it's like, okay, they will. And then you see them in Infinity War, and they are. And and then obviously she dies. And I thought, because now it's like, in these movies, it's like they can't be together. They need to keep the dynamic, because what would the Guardians of the Galaxy movie be if those two were like together? Do you get what I mean? Together.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, kill her off, bring her back from the past, and then they have to do the dance all over again.
Yeah.
But what I also like about that is that dance is going to be so much harder for Peter, because he already got there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He has to start over again.
He's got to start all over again, and I imagine he's still going to be a dick, because he's a dick without realizing he's being a dick. It's going to be a difficult one for him. It really is, and I'm looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 just to see their little dynamics, see how that goes.
Yeah.
And hopefully Thor will be with them.
Oh yeah, that would be good if he was.
And then Scarlet.
That's what I was about to say. But
oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. You guys do it. You say the thing.
Go on, say it, Isha.
Go on, Rich. Go.
Yeah. So anyway, Scarlet Witch turns up. Yeah. Oh, she bosses him up, man.
He did.
She actually had him. She
had him. She really did.
I was thinking he was gonna be like the wormy, snaky guy, Wormnium.
Ebony Moore.
Should we just call him Voldemort?
Voldemort.
Yeah, can we call him Voldemort? Because that's what he looks like. Yeah,
I thought
he was going to call him and be like, yo, come and deal with her. But
nah, she's like, too powerful for him.
Do you know what I liked about that scene?
That's why he did the rain fire down.
Yeah, that's when he did the rain fire. And you know what I liked about that scene is that we've finally seen how powerful
she can be.
Scarlet Witch is, because she changes realities. Do you know what I mean? These casual.
I don't know if she has that power in the films though.
Well, I'm just going into like talking comic books and just to say how powerful she actually is. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's crazy powerful, and it's nice to finally see like she can take on Thanos. Do you know what I mean? This person that they struggle with, but she had the motivation to kind of do what was necessary. And I just got really happy that we finally got to see this version of her instead of this toned down, let's keep her locked up, or she's not. She's powerful, but she's not that powerful. Do you know what I mean? Because like, and the other thing is that we in the promotion, it was like Captain Marvel is going to be the one to. No, we didn't actually need Captain Marvel. No, we had Scarlet Witch. We had Scarlet Witch the whole time.
They did, because
I mean,
she had him up. Scarlet Witch had him up, and then he had to call the rain of fire down. Which
I know, but
he had to. Otherwise, she would have crushed him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, that's when Captain Marvel showed up and basically saved them. But say he didn't call the rain of fire. Say she got to him, Scarlet Witch, that is.
Yeah.
Before he got to call in his reign of, like, she had him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
she did.
Why? Me tell you.
I think he was generally worried as well, Thanos.
Yeah.
I think
he's like, damn, I don't. Like,
I
watched the memories. I didn't know this bitch was so powerful. Excuse me.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And then obviously Captain Marvel comes, and then the guns go in the air, and I'm like, okay, cool. She busts through the thing, yada 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 yada. And then like obviously I like that bit, And then like I did like the bit where obviously they're fighting for the gauntlet, and then Thanos thinks he gets it, and then he has this little monologue, and he goes,
let's not get there yet. Let's cover this. Let's cover this Captain Marvel thing, because he doesn't throw her.
Okay.
He because what?
Throws her.
No, she's flying towards the van, and then as he's going to hit her, Rescue and a couple of other girls, they fire at him, and it knocks him over, and then he throws his sword at the van, and the explosion from the van knocks her away, and that's where she rolls. And then basically what happens is that the gauntlet is on the floor, and Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man, they go to grab him to pick up to stop him from using the gauntlet. So they're fighting. He brushes them off, and then go on.
Sorry. Okay, so they're doing all of that. Yeah. Can I ask? Yeah. Okay. 2 segments. 1. Stark goes to Strange. What's gonna happen? If I tell you,
it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. 2. Man's just doing the swirly fountain thing, making sure the water doesn't hurt anybody. And I'm like, all right, cool. It would be nice if you came to the party, but cool, whatever.
He was at a party in Infinity War, man.
Yeah. The thing is, that's the thing. They did say that certain characters are gonna take a step back for this part of the movie.
Yeah.
So I kind of expected, like, they can't have everyone do everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was a lot of superheroes.
That's what I was saying. You have to watch the 2 films together to get the full complement of it.
I feel like you see how your rating isn't as high for it. I feel like if you watch them back to back, you're just gonna be like, Infinity 1 and 2. Yeah, and it has to be watched because even where it starts off right afterwards. Do you know what I mean? Afterwards.
It definitely.
So
but even when I was watching the film, like, I knew, like, because of the pacing, I was like, I need to watch Infinity War before and then this immediately afterwards, because then it will feel like one film instead of you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Can't wait to take that Saturday and just watch both movies. Like, and it's gonna be like during the day. I'll probably start from like 2 in the afternoon, and that's me.
Yeah, they'll be finished.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah,
cannot wait to do that.
Yeah,
cannot wait.
Okay.
So he does grab her and throw her, but with the force of it's like, do you ever watch Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah, we will watch that.
Yeah, and like when you're using your force, when they're using their force, you kind of use their force against them to throw them. Yeah. So he didn't actually.
That's martial arts right there.
It's like Aikido, isn't it?
Yeah. He does that to her, but then she gets up straight away.
That's still a move.
It's still a move. It's still a move.
Yeah.
But
okay, so
yeah.
Can we agree to disagree and move on?
Of course.
Go ahead. So yes, they're fighting for the gauntlet. They're fighting for the gauntlet, and then
he's trying to snap his fingers. He's trying to snap his fingers, but she grabs it. She grabs his hand, and she's pulling his hands apart. And then he grabs that power stone and just licks her by it.
He was still on that.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh my days.
Yeah, does that, and then that's when Stark grabs him, innit? And then he gets all the stones, and then his man's just like monologuing, and he's like,
I am inevitable.
He's like,
I am inevitable.
Like, he looks at it, and then you see Stark just powering up, and he's just like, he goes, what does Stark say?
What do you mean, what does Stark? Let me do this. Give me the baton, man.
Before that, Doctor Strange, he gives him that signal.
He gives him the signal there, the one.
Right.
Yeah,
so, Doctor Strange gives him the signal. No, so Thanos is monologuing, and then he's like,
no, he doesn't monologue. He just says,
let me do this. He says, I am inevitable. Snaps. Then Stark looks at Strange. Strange looks at Stark and gives him one of these, and he's like, and I am Iron Man. How can you forget that is not only is that a classic Tony Stark Iron Man line, but that was monumental.
Brilliant.
This is too good. Oh my days!
And then he snaps. Yeah, wait, he snaps. Yeah, and all the Chitauri are having a moment. They're like, "Oh my god, I'm dying!" And you know what? You know what Thanos does? He looks around. He's like, "Oh, okay, it didn't work."
That was brilliant.
Sit down.
Yeah.
That was
He
brilliant.
sits down like bad man that he is, and he's like, "Okay, I'll see you soon."
Yes, because it's like he's like, not this time, but I'll get you guys next time. That's all it was. We'll be back.
Like, you know what? I was like, you know what? Yeah, bad man through and through.
Yeah, bad man to the end.
Yeah, you know. Can we give it up for Thanos? Can we just give it up for Thanos? Because he was just
Thanos.
You know, it's 10 years in the waiting, and he delivered. He delivered so good.
Yeah.
Number
Thanos,
one villain.
man.
Number one villain.
Yeah.
Sorry, Loki. But 2 comes right after 1, so it's all good. Oh man.
So yeah, this
where are we?
Yeah, go on, Rich. Wrap it up. Go on.
So yeah, everyone disappears and Stark is dying. You got a little.
But sorry, 1 second. Does Stark wish away, like say that? Oh, I wanted to know what Stark like said. I was like, did he say I wish the Chitauri never existed, or I wish that Thanos never existed? Or, you know, I mean, I wanted to know what.
He probably just wished it would just made them disappear.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think it's important. I think it's just like, these people are on my home. I want them gone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think he transported them anywhere. Obviously, I think the ones that are on the fleet that he had on Earth, dusted. There could be like excess soldiers on Titan or wherever Thanos was kicking it, but they're irrelevant. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of them were slaves anyway, so they'll probably just go back to not being slaves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
and it wasn't just the people, it was their equipment as well. Actually, it was their equipment as well. So yeah, they're all gone. And he dies.
Yeah.
He dies. It was sad. I'm glad the way he died, because I'm glad no one died from Thanos. Do you get what I mean? From like, that was from the battle, and this guy's been murked because of Thanos did something. He's been stabbed, or
he already killed a couple of people before.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he killed. I mean, he killed. I'm pretty sure he killed Captain America in the first one. Do you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he did, but because he used the time stone.
No, he killed Vision.
Yeah, I know he killed Vision, but what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure when he and Captain America was having that coursing match.
Oh yeah.
That he laid out Captain America so hard that he broke it. I'm pretty sure he died. But anyway, that's just me.
Yeah. Okay.
My point is, I'm glad that no one died that way, and it was just Tony using the gauntlet.
Yeah.
And because that I feel like it meant more. That way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and him not being able to speak or say anything, no goodbyes or anything.
Yeah. I love
and when Spider-Man came, and then it was
Mr.
like,
Stark.
Oh,
like,
we did it, Mr. Stark. We won.
Yeah.
Tony had to do 5 years without Spider-Man and having to deal with that, and then it got flipped. Who said that? Someone said that. I can't remember. It got flipped. And I think it was my dad that said that. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, it got flipped now, and now Spidey has to exist in a world without
Tony Stark."
Yeah.
Then I liked what Pepper Potts said, where she was like, "You know what? You can rest. We'll be fine. We'll be fine." You because that's been his whole thing. He put on the suit of armor to protect, I suppose, local. Then he realized that aliens are real. So he started thinking, "Oh, damn, we got to put armor around the world." His words, and he just wanted to go on from there. Every time he just kept trying to like protect, and it was just dope. I got nothing to say about this movie. So it was sick.
Yeah, that was a good ending. That was a good ending to his story.
It started with Iron Man and it ended with Iron Man, as far as I'm concerned. Like,
So what do you guys think about the funeral, the Thor scene, like handing over Asgard to Valkyrie?
The funeral was cool. Oh, go on.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, like, I liked how he gave it to Valkyrie, and I liked how she actually stepped up and wanted to take it. Because I feel like, again, she's been running for so long, and then they both
I've been
just
running
settled
for
on
so
being,
long.
but settled on being who they actually need to be. You know what I mean? Because she's a born leader anyway, so she's like lead the people. And then like, but the joke, it was funny because like when I was watching where they were, like obviously Welcome to New Asgard, I was like, wow, that kind of looks like where Aquaman would live. And like, it popped into my head. I was like, Aquaman could kind of live there, but
guys,
and then I was like, okay, cool. But then,
the wrong universe.
So that was, yeah, I know. I was just like, I wonder if they would ever do a crossover. Not thinking about that, but like, it's just like, but yeah, I liked how she then stepped up and did what she needed to do, and then he was just like, you know what, I just need to be in the stars and just do what I need to be me in it, kind of thing. So yeah, that was a nice moment, and then the funeral freaked me out a little bit, because not freaked me out, but I was a bit concerned about something, because when they're panning, they're panning to everybody, which I loved. They're panning to everybody, and then they just pan to like this random child.
Right? Was it a tall kid?
And then
was it a tall kid?
Yeah, he's from Iron Man.
He's from Iron Man 3. I didn't know who that was until I found out. I watched shout out to Mr. Sunday Movies, his Easter egg breakdown, and he said it was the kid that whose house he was in. Yeah, in the third movie. Yeah, because I remember looking at that kid like, who's that? So obviously that suggests that he must have kept in touch with him all these years. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Yeah, I liked the funeral scene. It was nice having everyone there. Do you know what I thought was funny, actually? Nick Fury showing up, because Captain Marvel showed up because of him. And I'm like, does she even know that did any of them know that he was at the funeral? Did he just slide in? I mean, he's like, yeah, I'm here too. Yeah, that's it. So hi, how you doing? Because he interacted with nobody. He had no lines. There was nothing with him and Captain Marvel. He just turned up at the funeral. It's like, oh, my guy's dead.
Yeah.
Let me just slink back. Because then at the end of the funeral, everyone's kind of talking and he just slinks back out. He's just
gone.
Yeah.
But the funeral was a nice scene. It wasn't they didn't throw any of their jokes. They kept it serious as well.
Yeah.
Then I like how they had Happy Hogan talking with Morgan, asking her like, "What do you like? What do you want? I'll get you anything." It's like
cheeseburgers.
I wanted cheeseburgers. Your dad liked cheeseburgers. Okay.
Apparently that's the cheeseburger thing as well is what helped Robert Downey Jr. come off the drugs as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, which is why they put it in the first Iron Man film.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, so there's a lot
he was saying that in an interview. He said like Iron Man, actually becoming Iron Man helped him become better, Robert Downey Jr. You know what I mean? So it's like this more or less this saved his life basically. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope that
the one thing I didn't like about that funeral scene, I must say, is Hulk's arm in the sling. Because he is supposed to have a healing factor.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I thought that, but you have to remember he was dealing with cosmic forces beyond his control.
Okay. This is Marahashi played. It's not that.
But then it's kind of because I had a sword, because you know when he. Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna say, I would imagine that his arm would heal up in like a few days. It's not. I don't think it's a thing that's gonna take like weeks or months. I'd imagine his healing factor will factor in. It's just gonna be a bit slower because he's dealing with cosmic entities, stones that have been there since I think Doctor Strange said the dawn of time. They're older than him. They're powerful. So I think it was right that just because he's the Hulk, his arm shouldn't just heal. He's dealing with crazy. Like even Thanos is like crazy powerful, and his arm was jacked up afterwards as well. And he took down the Hulk, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But then because he said he said Hulk goes before he put on the gauntlet, he was like, it's basically just gamma rays. Like he was just saying he was saying that he like almost did the math kind of thing. Like he was just like, it's just more gamma rays. So I was like, okay. So yeah, when I was watching, I was like, you're not healed yet? Because I'm pretty sure this is probably a couple of weeks or months after the event.
So I would have thought as well with that with it being Gamma, he'll probably knock him and Banner out again.
Maybe he was wrong.
He might even become the Maestro Hulk, man. That would have been sick.
That would have been hard.
Maybe he was wrong and they weren't gamma rays.
Yeah.
You ever think of that? He's a scientist. Science isn't always right. Like calculations are off, equations get wrong. You know, maybe he should have carried the 2. Maybe he didn't carry that 2. He left it as a remainder. Why did you leave it as a remainder? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you just got to put it in the bracket. Maybe you forgot the bracket. I'm just
exactly. So, getting to my point, I think it's very justifiable that his arm be broke.
All right.
For just a few days.
All right. So was it justifiable that Steve Rogers went back to return all the stones and then came back as an old man without coming back onto the platform, onto the time?
Was it just a what? Justifiable.
So
no.
I don't understand what that means.
One problem I had was Steve Rogers going back, which is fine.
Yeah.
But then him not coming back, but then you see him as an old man on the bench. That's a bit of a plot hole for me.
Why?
Because it just
feels. Yeah.
It doesn't show him actually coming back to that time.
No.
And if he did live that life, then he would have lived in an alternate timeline.
Yes.
Unless it happened already, and because when he came back, Bucky wasn't really surprised about it.
Yeah. I think he told Bucky though what he was going to do.
Yeah. So did he tell him, or was it something that was done previously? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because one, he's split in time, so he's creating another multiverse anyway. Yeah. Well, obviously, when he went back, he put obviously the hammer back, he put all the soul gems back, whatever. But then he existed in the same time as himself.
Yeah.
But he was quiet about it because he had Peggy. Because there's not 2 versions of Peggy. There's one version.
No,
of Peggy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he took Peggy, and then his alternate self, who is now on a trajectory of another timeline, and he's definitely on another timeline, is still Captain America, but then doesn't have Peggy or doesn't know Peggy. That's what I was freaking out a bit, because I was like, if you've taken Peggy and there's not another Peggy, then that means that Captain America never knew Peggy.
Yep.
So
what do you mean he never knew her though?
Okay, so to where he went back to, he went back to right at the beginning, and he was like, I promise you that dance.
Yeah. So he went back and met her.
Okay. The thing is, I was going to say is, I didn't assume that he went back to the 1940s, because that wouldn't make much sense. I assumed that he went back to the 1970s again.
Yeah.
That's right, because he was going to put the Tesseract back. Yeah. So I assumed that he went back to the 1970s. That's just young enough for him to live out his life with Peggy there, and age to be around in 2019. Yeah. The other thing is, I just assumed again that he went back there. I forgot what I was going to say now. Because someone, I think it was again Mr. Sunday Movies, that kind of threw this out there as an idea, where when you see the history video of her, where she's talking about Steve Rogers died for us and saved so many people, and because he did that, I was able to meet my husband.
Yeah.
Now, I think there was no record of her husband or something like that. What was it? Basically, it's just that husband could have easily been Steve Rogers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what happened. And he was just able to live out.
But then in the 1970s, sorry to cut you, she had already met Captain America by then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So basically,
yeah, because from 1940. So no, he wouldn't have been thawed out in 1970.
He was thawed out in the 1970s.
Yeah, that's what. No, he wasn't.
He was still in the ice.
Okay. He was still in the ice. He wasn't.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. That's fine. Sorry. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
He was thawed out in 2012. Yeah.
Yeah.
2012 was a long time away from 1970.
Yeah, but
you weren't even born yet.
In the 1914. No, but did she know him in the 1940s?
Yeah.
Because they were in the war together. That's where they met. So she knew him in the 1940s. They had their whole adventure in World War II. Then he died. He goes under ice, and then she lives her life from 1940s to the 1970s. Then he shows up at her doors like, "What up, Peggy? Your boy's in his house." And she's like, "Damn, let's start a family." So he's like, "Cool. Let me just quickly run these stones back to where they gotta be, and we'll do this on the low." They do it on the low. He goes back to Avengers Mansion. At the moment he knew that he was going to go back in time, probably told Buck that he was going to do it, and Buck's like, Sam's like, Buck's like, look. Sam looks, there's Cap. They have a conversation. Now you be Captain America. Damn, I'm alright with that. Movie ends.
Cool. That's
okay,
fine.
but my thing is, I think because Bucky wasn't surprised about it, I think either Bucky knew from a long time ago, or maybe the night before, that he was going to stay, because he said, "I'm going to miss you," kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think he knew that he was going to do that. Now, if he knew that, and maybe he had done that originally anyway, so it's a kind of like a time loop in a sense. Even though it might seem that he's going back in time and creating a new timeline, maybe they're in the timeline when he's actually done that already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Time travel, man.
It's odd that he come back on the trackpad. It's odd that he didn't come back on the pad and he just existed. Like he just, you know what I mean? When it's like he did a Nick Fury. He was walked into the scene and was like, "Let me just sit here because it's my time to sit here." And
either way, I would
like
really
to know though. Sorry, I would like to know though where he got the shield.
Yeah.
Who did he get the shield from? Where did you get it from? Whoa! Did
you get it from? I don't know. He could have, because that's another story in itself. Like even explaining how he took back the stones, because we all know. Well, Red Skull might still be there. He might not be there. We know that he was only there to guide whoever's after the stones. And because someone else has got the stones, or someone took the stones, he might not still be there. And I think I remember them saying that once the stones have left Vormir, then he's freed. So he could have returned the stone, and Red Skull might not be there. But either way, him returning the stones to these different times is a good story to be told.
Probably won't be told though.
Yeah,
it probably won't be told unless it's probably told in like one of the What Ifs cartoons.
That would be that. Yeah, I was gonna say that would make a really good animated movie.
Yeah,
a really good animated movie.
And if he has been living in the same timeline, he could have easily have probably gone to Wakanda and told T'Challa about it, and he could have made him a new shield, or
the possibilities are endless. And again, it's time travel.
Yeah,
if we're lucky, we might get that because that's a movie. They could do one more Captain America movie with that as the plot.
Saga,
you know what I mean? So
So speaking of new movies and plots, now that it seems like Avengers is not really done, but the original
New Age
2 or 3, we're gonna get new Avengers. What do you guys do? You think they're gonna carry on with like, so for this year, I think they said they're gonna do like the Infinity something. So this whole 10-year pack, once this comes out on Blu-ray, will be the Infinity Saga. So maybe the next 5 or 10 years will be a different saga. So do you think it would be maybe like another Avengers, a new team of Avengers, or will they?
The thing is,
the cosmic side of things and doing.
I thought that the Endgame was going to be called New Avengers. So obviously, I was wrong. But I feel like at some point in a movie, they're going to call the movie New Avengers. Just going on with what you're saying about that.
Sean, what were you going to say? Sorry.
No, I'm hoping they're going to move on. Like, that's it for the Avengers. Like, as a main franchise, they're going to like move on now to
the cosmic
Fantastic
stuff.
Four, X-Men, or even something more in the cosmic side of things.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they move on
because
as
you've
well.
still got like
they've still got a lot of the big characters. I mean,
they've still got.
Yeah, go on.
Adam Warlock is still come.
Yeah, they hinted that was years ago now as well. No, I was just gonna say that was years ago. They hinted that years ago. I actually thought he was gonna be in Infinity War at one point.
No, he ain't coming until they do Guardians
of the Galaxy 3, which.
But I think they're gonna do the more cosmic things because with Captain Marvel, she's overpowered anyway, so she ain't gonna be doing any Earth things. It
doesn't make sense for her to be on Earth.
No, she's gonna be more of a universe galaxy kind of thing, and I think you still have Black Panther, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange. But I think the majority of it with Eternals as well. Eternals is one of those like big universal kind of movies. I think they all the next phase will be like just out in space and meeting new characters from over there, like Adam Warlock and characters like that.
Yeah, because in the comics, Adam Warlock gets the gauntlet. In another comic, Nebula gets the gauntlet. You know what I mean? So there's a lot they can do. So it'll definitely be space orientated. So which is exciting. Which is very exciting. So we've had 11 glorious years on Earth.
It's been nice.
I think,
Nova Corps.
Did really, really well. So as a whole. But yes.
All right.
There's probably a lot of fans that are probably going to retire from this thing completely.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I could easily not watch the new Spider-Man movie. Like,
could you?
I couldn't, because I'm a fan. I'm going to be watching these forever. Do you know what I mean? For my forever, I'm always going to be watching these. But I can imagine like the casual fan could be like, all right, well, I've sat through all this from Iron Man all the way to Endgame. There's no need to watch anymore. The story is done. Do you get what I mean? It's like you said, it's a saga, and that saga is finished.
But then now we've got the Silver Surfer, Adam Warlock, Nova Corps. They
played this out brilliantly. I have to say, Disney buying Marvel is probably one of the best things that's ever happened. Like as a comic book fan, because it's all because of Disney. That horrible, horrible, horrible mouse. And I don't mean the mouse. I don't mean the side of the mouse that I love, that I watched growing up in cartoons and played in Kingdom Hearts. I mean the corporate side of the mouse, evil side of that mouse. But it's been a great 11 years, great 22, and not every movie was a winner, but as a whole, it was just beautiful. It was I'm glad to be a part of it, because I was listening to Radio 1 Extra. This actually vexed me. I don't know if she'll ever see this podcast. I hope someday she does. But there's a girl on Radio 1 Extra. I can't remember her name. She's on the show with this guy called Ace, and basically they were talking, and she said, "Oh man, there's just too much geek stuff going on about right now." He's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, everyone's talking about Endgame. Everyone's talking about Game of Thrones. It just needs to stop." And I could have slapped her. Like, who are you?
Like
and I just thought, what are you, like, fair enough if you're out actually like doing things, like shout out to you on the radio, so dope for you, but in your spare time, what are you like? Don't talk. I bet you any money. She's at home watching EastEnders. Who cares? She's what, boy. And if you ever see this girl from Radio 1 Extra, school me if you're not watching EastEnders. Like, tell me, what were you doing in 2019 at 10:31 on a Wednesday? Like, when everyone, I can't remember her name, when everyone was watching Endgame and Game of Thrones, what were you doing with your life besides being on the radio? Don't try and give me that career nonsense. Anyway, that's a proper rant. Where it vexed me. The nerve. Like, this is huge. Like, it's a proper huge thing. Even people who aren't comic book fans, who are just moviegoers, well, what Sean here doesn't even like. He's not even a fan of the Avengers, and he's there. He's been there. Boy. nerve of these people. Just sit down, man.
Some people just they just don't have it. They just don't have it. Stay in your lane, people. Leave us alone. Innit? It's our time now. We sat through all those Renaissance 1900s movies and slave movies. And
I'm done with those. I don't even watch those. That's another subject. I don't even watch those.
Yeah, I still watching those.
Yeah, exactly. Geek time now. Thank you. But yeah, amazing.
So yeah, that's it for Endgame then, I guess.
One final thought. I'll just say on Captain America and Peggy. I'm so glad that they finally got their dance.
Yeah.
That made me so happy. That made me so happy. So happy that made me.
And the possibility that Captain America had children, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But anyway, yeah. Yay! We're at the end of the show. That's the end of the show. Endgame, Avengers, end of the show. So you could have stopped me at any point. I didn't have to do that.
It's a soothing voice. It's a soothing voice. Yeah. But yeah, it is the end of the show, and I'm sure we've got some things to do now. Like
I'll go watch Game of Thrones, eat, shower, and then go to bed. I guess
definitely need to watch Game of Thrones.
Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Source Wall. One represents all. We are the Source Wall. I have been the Outlaw Red Hood. It has been Phantom Specialist. And we read comics and shall the Chinese way of saying Sean. We hope you
guys, man.
Actually, thanks for coming on the show again. We appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
No problem, man.
You know, you're honorary member.
Woohoo!
Yeah, honorary.
Your hoodie. Go get my Source Wall hoodie. Oh yeah.
Honorary member of.
Don't forget.
All right, did you hear him? It's in the post. He's
in the
post.
Nice, yeah.
If you guys want to get your honorary.
If anybody out there would like a hoodie or a t-shirt or some socks or some stuff, go
phone
to
case.
Teespring. Yeah, go get some merch from us.
Teespring.com/stores/the Check it out. You can get your 20% off as well. With the 20% discount code. You just type in, I'm forgetting what you type in now. There's a new code for it. I'm trying to find what it is.
Source 20.
The Source 20, that's it.
Source 20, something like that.
He's the Seaniest of the Sean, and he's the real cat. Yeah, we appreciate Sean. So yeah, amazing. Oh, thank you, peeps. And enjoy Endgame if you haven't seen it. If we've spoiled it, I feel like you should have seen it already. And for these two who are about to go and watch Game of Thrones, just clear the space in your area, okay? And make sure there is nothing in your way, okay? Just clear the space.
Okay.
Don't get distracted.
That's all I have to say. Do not get distracted. Turn your phone off and then text us when you have finished.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Amazing.
All right, guys. Yay! Well, see you guys next week and travel safely.
Yeah. Oh, gotta tell you guys one thing. Don't forget to bring a sandwich. Peace out, everybody.
Love and
Been
peace.
the Source Wall.